Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. From the deepest jungles to the outmost reaches of space and beyond the veils of death itself, the Bald and Bonkers boys are back for another episode. It's no secret that you won't know what will happen next, but Dakota Franson and Chris Moore promise that all bets are off. Viewer discretion and straitjackets advised. These two idiots live up to the name.
What is with that delay?
Here we go.
What is with that delay? That is crazy. It only happens to us on this show. You're muted, Dakota.
Am I? Can you hear me?
Well, I can hear you absolutely fine. I can't hear Dakota.
Okay.
Every time we do the Bald and Bonkers show or the Disclosure show, this happens. When I do my Ghost Squad Scotland, it's fine. That's crazy, guys. That's absolutely crazy. I'll just let Dakota try and figure out what's wrong. Actually, we're actually joined tonight by Dots. That's got to be a very interesting show, but we'll give Dakota a minute or two until he can figure out what's wrong. Why don't you go to Dakota and come back in really quick? I don't think he can hear us.
I think he said he needs to close it all down if he needs to do that.
Right. That is weird. It's absolutely crazy. That I can't get away with how crazy this. Right. That is really weird, isn't it? Because it shouldn't be doing this, and it's only when we do.
Hey.
Did it kick us all off? What the hell?
No, that was weird.
Okay.
All right.
There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
See, we could hear you. We were talking away. Could you hear us?
Yes. As I was trying to sign, I can hear you. Dear God. I can hear you.
Do you not think there's something strange going on? Do you not think there's something strange going on with these shows lately?
Because they know what we're talking about.
Yeah. That's just.
I think that's what it is.
Oh, this is going to be an interesting weekend, ain't it?
Maybe we should start pre-recording in the future.
Oh, well, people got bitchy because, you're not answering me. Like,
I know.
Like we were talking before the show started, this is a topic that really needs to go in. Civilian Disclosure Project, that's our own little take on how we're going to want to do things. And it's an open mic night tonight, so if you got some stories to share, if you got videos you want to show off, more than welcome to do that as well. Anyway, Dots, how the hell are you, man? It's good to finally get a clear picture of your face.
That's it, yeah. I know he's a bit of a presence online for the last couple of years. I have to shout out the team for getting us all sorted together in the dudes and the Galactics and what have you. I mightn't interact with it much, but I definitely keep an eye on what's going on, you know. So when I seen the lads last night, I said, I have to support, you know.
Yeah. No, understandable. That came out pretty late for you, so.
Yeah, well, actually, I missed Alex's webinar by about 2 hours, so I watched it, then I caught it, and Alex started to give me a bit of a shake, and I was like, you know what? I said, I can't. I have to come forward and just say what I know and put it out there. People need to know. I mean, they laugh at you this week. A couple of weeks' time, they won't be laughing. You know, they'll be what the hell were you talking about a couple of weeks ago? And we know here how serious this is. People won't take it serious for a week or two. In mainstream, it'll just fall in line. They'll have to. They'll come up, have their own spin in it and all that crap. But this is coming out. You know?
Yeah.
I'm not hiding anymore. This is what I know. I'm just putting it out there for people to have a go at it. I'm not telling anyone what to do. I'm just putting it out there. You know?
It's what I've been for. As I say, before we started, I've not been really following it that much, the UFO subject, for the last few weeks. I've been doing more paranormal stuff. But I have been watching the Corona stuff. And then obviously after that one, I watched the Dakota tonight. I mean, what I've seen in the news, what I've seen, oh my God, the stuff that's coming out is going to be groundbreaking stuff. It's going to change. I think it will change the world. I think it will definitely change the world.
Well, the world's changing anyway. This is just getting ahead of it. That's for true. That's why I'm talking here now, because there's no point in saying I knew about this later on. People saying, "What the hell? Why didn't you say something?" Like, nobody was listening. I found a group of people that are listening, so I have to support. Let us know you are bang on. Now, everyone's on the right, going the right direction. We're all in different lanes, maybe, but we're all heading in the right direction. So we get together, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. And I don't know if you noticed on your end, Dots, but it sounded like Chris's mic was actually
muffled, Chris,
to get muffled.
Muffled?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was happening again.
Interference with the audio, yeah.
That's really weird. That my audio is absolutely fine. Am I okay now?
I got to hear. I can understand you most of the time as an Irishman with a lot of Scottish friends.
I can understand you absolutely fine.
A little bit bad. I was there. No, hold on. That's not him. That's Mike. So, no offense, man. As I said, I have Scottish friends.
That's really weird. Am I coming through muffled right now as I speak to you, Dakota?
No, you're okay now.
Not right now. No.
See, I was hearing something, but I didn't want to say nothing because I could hear tones playing.
Okay, this is like security at the airport. If you see something, say something.
It's good to remember. I'm wearing kind of expensive cans in my head, and they're really, really good at picking up things.
Yeah, no, you're starting to get the headphone dent.
I know. I'm getting the head bump back. I listen to too much music, right? But anyway, sometimes a wee while ago it started in this one, and then it moved to this one, and I could hear those tones. I could hear the tones, the CE5 tones. Every now and again, I could hear them. Yeah. But the different dilations of them.
Yeah, that's definitely in my experience. Whenever those go, it's, for lack of better words, someone's trying to dial you, man.
I can feel them. But I'm trying to stop it.
Not answering the damn phone.
No. The thing is, this is the serious thing. I can feel them right now. I can feel them try to take control of me right now, and I'm totally built up a brick wall to them because I ken how to ground myself now and stuff like that. I can feel them right now, and it's weird as fuck, as one would say. Because obviously I've been talking to like Lisa and stuff like that, and she showed me how to ground myself and how to stop myself from getting took, as one would say.
Oh, but going
it's no that. It's
a muscle thing, man.
No, I'm going to tell you truthfully, right? For 3 weeks, I've not done any UFO stuff, right? I have maybe watched a couple of Elena's videos and stuff like that, but I've also been on a diet, and I've had no sugar for 3 weeks.
Oh, very good.
I am maybe drinking this stuff. This is Lucozade, but it's zero sugar. I've had no like sugar, and obviously sugar's like it plays a big part in blocking your spiritual sense.
It's like anesthetic.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I'm glad you said that. Now I gave up sugar over the last couple of months, and I used honey as a substitute, but I have to cut down the honey because it's a blended honey. It's not even local honey. But I'm cutting down it as well. But I've noticed the difference getting the sugar cut out, and I dropped a load of weight as well. So I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because I've noticed the difference in me. So sugar is definitely a big thing to try and cut out if you can.
Mm-hmm. Here a question I've actually got for Bethy is it's something that I seen the other night there, and I don't really know about this subject, and it's something that I was thinking about. Now, obviously, we've got mobile phone masts, right, and they started going up in the early 90s with obviously the mobile phone and stuff like that, and then we switched over to digital for our TVs and stuff like that. Do you think that's got anything to do with like maybe extraterrestrials that are already visiting here, and the government was using that to try and cover up the fact that they're here? See, the reason I say this is because remember that UFO sighting I had, Dakota? Remember the one that I showed you with the video, the one with the video in that, and I showed you it was over the windmills, the turbines, near where I was, right? It was a beautiful blue day, skies, couple of clouds, really quickly. I seen nothing. There was nothing over the wind turbines. And there was a mobile phone mast. And at the time, I was friendly with this guy, and it was these wee stickers that like 5G's bad for you and stuff like that. And I went up right, and I opened the gate, and I went right into the mobile phone mast where the tower was, and you could actually feel it. You could feel the pulses coming off it, right? So I stuck my sticker up, shut the gate, walked out and shut the gate, and I turned round, and there it was. It was just sitting above the wind turbines, just sitting there. And it slowly moved away, and it went over the towns, I mean, it was big. And the strange thing is, I taken a picture with my phone with that. And nothing showed up. But when it was ran through software on a computer, remember that, Dakota? When it was ran through space software and computer, you can clearly see this ginormous object sitting over the top of the wind turbines. So what I'm thinking is, do you think that these, obviously mobile phones are a handy thing and stuff like that, but do you think that the radio signals and TV terrestrial signals are maybe used to maybe try and block us? Because maybe when I went close to that, it did something to me. That's what my question is for you.
I'm not sure. It was 5G, was it?
No, it was a 4G tower.
Okay.
It had just been converted to 5G. I don't know if it was on or not, but I know that it's just behind my house. It's just up there.
The only thing I say there is I never really looked into the whole 5G thing, but I came across it a long time ago when it was called millimeter wave technology, and it was a weapons demo. Yeah. It was a mobile platform that could be used. And as soon as I heard 5G was coming out, and I seen the comparison, I mentioned it to a mate of mine who's an astrophysicist, a very good one actually. And he said the same thing. He goes, yeah. He says, very invasive, and, it's not a good thing. It can be used as a weapon. It can be used for communication, but it can be used for a weapon. I left it at that. I didn't want to get into it because you have all sorts of conspiracies behind it as well.
I know.
I don't think there's that much of a conspiracy. I seen it as a weapons demo before it became communication. So,
what I'm thinking is right. What happens if this? Maybe there's a signal in that, right? Maybe it's used for mobile phones and internet and stuff like that. Totally different subject. But what happens if there's a signal built into those towers that it's basically broadcasting everywhere simultaneously, right?
But it
would be making people blind. What's flying about?
Oh, that's possible. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, we see in a very specific light spectrum and frequency. I mean, birds and all that have much better vision than us.
Yeah.
So it's easy to manipulate us. Well, I haven't looked into it, but I'd imagine that only maybe 20 minutes on the internet, you'll be able to figure that out. If you broadcast or blanket the area with a particular type of wave or signal, it will stop you from receiving hearing or visual. It definitely interferes with your brain.
Oh, yeah.
We do know that there are several frequencies that can be broadcast that can cause a violent and psychotic behavior.
Yep, like brown noise and
yeah. I mean, it's not full on like Stephen King Cell, maybe, or who knows at this rate. It's the 2020s. You never fucking know. But this is technology implemented with a lot of MK Ultra aspects. We see it in direct energy weapons being utilized by the military every day. The area it's not necessarily blocking. It's basically editing out this signal from the brain itself. You're still technically seeing it, but the brain's not registering it being there.
Yeah.
Is where it would end up. And that's why, and I've had an incident where I was, filming something I was physically seeing, didn't show up on the phone, but yet I run it through a computer software, add like an edge detection, and all of a sudden, what I saw was a little dot came out to be about that big.
Yeah. I definitely think there's something. I think they're using like a frequencies. I definitely think the governments of the world are using frequencies to cover stuff up. I really do. Mm-hmm. And it actually brings us up to like other things. I mean, like obviously there was that. Remember oh my God, this is before your time. Remember that broadcast? You remember it, Dots? The broadcast, was it in the early 80s? What was the one with the alien
one?
Aye. Can you remember that?
Which one was it? The Max Headroom one or the one that came from Ashtar?
It was Ashtar. I think it was the Galactic Command. Varlon. That's him. I mean, do you think? What is your opinion in that? If I was wanted to hear your opinion in that for somebody, what's your opinion in that, Dots?
When I first heard it, I wasn't really sure because the weird voice and the effect and all that. But there was a bit more feedback afterwards. I think it was. Oh, hold on a second. You still on?
Yeah, it's not on.
Okay, right. The screen went blank. I panicked, but I could see it up here, so I know it was on. Yeah, when I first heard it, I thought the voice sounded weird, but then a bit of feedback came back that, it was sort of somebody who was up in Ashtar making a thing, but not Ashtar sharing it. Was Ashtar Galactic Command, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't look into it anymore. I think Elena might have mentioned that it was mm-hmm. back then that it was verified, and then they stopped doing it or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
Elena actually did mention something. I believe it's in her first book, Gift from the Stars. Ashtar isn't a name; it is a title, like general. That's one thing that we got to reiterate. That Verlon was a ranking Ashtar for the Galactic Command, which is separate from the Federation. There's occasionally where operations do overlap. That's my understanding of all the layouts that she puts in her book. We're not paid to advertise her. There's a lot of information there, and you've seen Elena pop up on this show enough times with Pandora's box opening up to know that there's something going on with that woman.
Oh yeah.
Well, the stuff that I came across in 2015, 2016, I won't mention it here, but it doesn't really matter. And other things that were corresponding. And then Elena started talking about it a couple of years later, and I instantly knew she was on track. Absolutely rock solid. I already came across this. This is verified to me. Yeah, that's to me. I found out what I know. I know it. Again, it's, when people say, prove it, I've been researching this for a while. And if you body your arse to actually start having a look at it, you'll see. But they just ignore it. They don't want to know. They'll have to start listening to it now because it really is barreling out. So, again, I'm completely leaving it up to the individual if they want to take this, what I'm saying. I know it's very serious. But it's completely up to them if they want to take the information. And that's it. I'm not selling anything, I'm not pushing anything.
My phone's acting really weird. I had it on Bald and Bonkers so I could follow the chat, and it's acting really weird. It's never seen it doing that before. It was flicking. I've never seen it doing that before. I think there's weird stuff happening tonight. There's weird things happening tonight. I can hear that tone again.
Let's see what
just as if it starts. What I'll do is I'll pause it. It's just so I can keep an eye on the chat because I'm looking out for trolls and stuff like that. But it's weird. Do you not feel the energy tonight? It feels weird.
It does.
It's like a thunderstorm. If you ever been sensing like a thunderstorm and that, and it's all tingly, and you can smell like the rain and.
You're seeing the ozone just before you get that ozone smell. Mm-hmm.
What's that in the chat there? GR official 97 talking about frequencies. I think it's 432 hertz that can heal your body. There has to be one that can damage you. I think what the government are doing. See, this is what I'm looking forward to, is these beds that are meant to be coming out.
Yeah, the med beds.
Yeah. When are they coming out? I want 2 of them.
Well, we're gonna have one down at Gisig, so I'm just hoping it'll fit in my big ass.
Oh my god. I'm badly needed one of them. I mean, it's quite interesting because I was watching a thing tonight about that set. What's his name? Oh, Jesus! It was this guy was on. He was talking about the dark side of the moon and how they've actually got photos, early photos, of the first Apollo, and this seemingly they're going to be releasing them. This is what's happening right now. Seemingly the senator's is actually got a hold of these documents.
Yeah, well, some of the Apollo 20 photos were very interesting. If you want to believe in them, and they look pretty cool. So there's definitely stuff that's already out there that's going to be confirmed on it, and I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah,
I know it's almost hard to really pinpoint a point of discussion because it's so much is happening at all sides. It's hard to keep up.
Yeah.
What's your opinion? Both of you, what do you think is going to happen in 2 weeks' time? What do you think is going to happen? What do you think they're actually going to come out with and say, listen, there's 300 different races been visiting the Earth for thousands and thousands of years. Oh, but also there's races, the extraterrestrials that also live here. Because I know that's true.
Well, my personal opinion is I wouldn't put a time limit on it because disclosure, it'll come out when people are ready for it and they're observing what's going on. They're sussing out our brainwaves. They're seeing how we're going to react. So you can't really put a date on that because it's an active operation. And you're asking, if you ask them for a date, well, then that's compromising the operation. So you can't put a time on it, really. But it's coming out as you see. There's arguments, is the government telling us what's really going on, but you're still finding out about UFOs and aliens. So at least the news is getting out there and people are starting to talk about it. And I think people at this stage realize that governments have lied. I mean, that's obvious. Mm-hmm. So, who do you turn to? It seems like we're the ones to figure it out. You know, you can't let the government make decisions anymore. You just can't. They've proven themselves to be totally, woefully inadequate at this job.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Now, let's kind of go off of what Dots is saying. We might see just a little bit of anarchy when people start to realize just how much is, for lack of a better word, I can't really think of a better word to say it. People, even the most, people who try, even the people who try to milk the government as much as they can, like substitute parents, they feel that the government should force feed everything to them. They should be given everything. Even those people are starting to question whether or not that they should have been doing that all along because of everything going on now. Understandable. If there's people out there that genuinely need assistance, you do what you got to do. Make sure you and your family are taken care of. But even JFK files are being re-released. There's
that's going to be interesting.
And, like a point that a lot of people are making. It's like damn near everybody that was associated with JFK is dead. Why are we still dancing around it? Because
I think there's stuff there that they don't really want us to know. I think he was killed for a reason. I think it was his own government that killed him.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not getting a fuck. They can come and take me away if they want. Fuck it.
Hey, I fucking reached out to Robert Kennedy himself because if anybody's gonna hear something, it's gonna be him.
I mean, there's an interesting in the chat there. What's your craziest UFO sighting you've all had? That's an interesting one. Dakota, you want to go first on this?
Well, Dots is the new guy on the block here. We can give him a shot.
Well, I've a number. I have a couple of 2 telescopes at the moment. One's out on loan. It's the digital one. The other one I got when I was mates of mine bought it when I was 21. So I've been out a lot looking at the stars, but I don't use the scopes anymore. I have binoculars with me, and I go out almost every night in Ireland. That's, as much as you can. I've seen a lot, but nothing spectacular. But there was one really good one, and I was watching it enough, and it was dancing around. It was doing weird stuff. It absolutely wasn't a satellite. I actually drew a little sketch of sort of where it went on in the sky, and it went from east to west and north and south. It went all over the place quickly, and like somebody with a laser pointer. It wasn't that fast now, but it definitely wasn't reacting like anything I'd ever seen, and it was quite bright. And I called my mother and brought her out, and I was. It took me a minute to get her out because it's pitch dark, and down the step and out. And I said, see this? And then she started shaking. Now, I'd seen stuff like that before, not quite as active as that. But I had time to go in and get her and then come back out again. Now, she was holding on to me and she was shaking. I was trying to catch it with the binoculars and she was just looking at it. But it was a really good one. And then I was telling my brother about it. And he actually asked her, he said, were you shaking? And she was like, absolutely. She said, that didn't look like anything proper at all, So it was a good one. Again, even if I had proof, if it had bothered to get my phone, which it's pointless because you lose your night vision when you turn on your phone and all of that crack. People just say it's fake anyway. So I don't bother with any of that crack. Just, somebody, when you take a picture of it, I was there because I had it in the binoculars. I was looking at it. I'm not going to bother taking out my phone on the off chance that I'll be able to get it. I'm looking at the action. I'm not looking for my phone. So look up within the next few weeks. I'm sure you're going to see something active out there, You want proof.
Get the GoPro strapped to the forehead so you're recording it all
Aliens
times.
waving at me, didn't
But no major stories out of me, really, just a few sightings. A good few, though. You see satellites every night, absolutely every night. I know exactly what they look like. Exactly what they look like. I'm a satellite tracker on the phone, but I don't bring the phone out because you lose your night vision as soon as you turn the phone on and you can't see the stars properly. So I don't bother with it anymore. I know what a satellite looks like. But when you see something jumping around like a light, with no restrictions at all, when you see something jumping around like that, there's nothing that moves like that.
There was one winter's night here in Scotland, and it was beautiful. You could see the Milky Way galaxy and stuff like that. And I was watching the satellites. It was quite late. It was about 11 o'clock at night. I was watching the satellites, and then I seen this one dot. I was just going along. I thought, oh, it's just another satellite. And then it stopped, and it went to the side. Then it stopped. Then it started going along again, and it just shut off. And I was like, I was shocked. And that's before I got into the kind of UFO stuff. I was like, what was that I just seen? I mean, if satellites don't do that. Satellites just go slow and they keep going and going and going till they disappear. But it just stopped, and it went a wee bit to the side, and then it shut off. And that's just that kind of woke me up a wee bit on the kind of UFO stuff. It woke me into it a wee bit. It makes you wonder what's actually up there. You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I told Chris about this when it happened last year. Here's one of the weirder ones I've had, and for those of you who followed the show for a while, there's obviously a little bit of a backstory. But there was another visitation from my usual little group that came by towards the end of the vision or visit, whatever you want to call it. I remember seeing what looked like a handwritten note saying 19 days. I was like, all right. As Dot said, if you go to ask around for dates, you can't really get something very accurate. They might be able to give you, random guesses on when they expect things to turn around, but you don't want to necessarily take that verbatim just because something can still go wrong. So anyway, I made sure not to tell anybody about this because basically you see a glimpse of the future, that alone changes the course of events. Especially, say, if all of a sudden you see a vision of you winning the lottery, you don't tell people jack shit until it actually happens. But, moving on. So 19 days, day 18, I was like, well, all the information I gathered, everything from Elena, saying that my case happens because there is a bit of a breeding program going on, and that when the alien invasion comes, I have a family reunion. So 19 days when it comes up, I look out my window, all of a sudden there's this crescent moon shaped craft, looked like it was trying to materialize in the air. And as it was doing that, power went out all over the place. Now, mind you, a bit of a heat wave. Everybody had ACs going on. Power companies were trying to tell people, reserve as much as you can. We know you're hot. Reserve as much as you can. Otherwise, the system's going to blow out. So it wouldn't have taken much. Power goes out. The craft disappears right on day 19. So I start going out to relatives. Just above the mountains, you see what looks like this black ball, for lack of a better. It could have just been how fast it was moving. That's all my eyes could register. Just shoot across the top of the mountains. Within an hour, that object was seen flying all the way across the state. I'm in Idaho. Within the hour, it was spotted in the northern part of the state next to the Canada border. I'm near the Nevada border. And it's just having a countdown like that actually turn up something was just a bit spooky. Now they could just give me lotto numbers. I don't know. That was one of the weirder ones.
See, I can't, right, this is something I've always wondered, right, today with the extraterrestrials, right? Obviously, some of them are here to watch us, right? Some of them are obviously here to make sure we don't use nuclear weapons, right? Because we know that nuclear weapons can interfere with, like, different dimensional aliens, right? So, but what do you think a lot of them come here for? Do you think they come here just to look at us, just to say, oh, look at them, look at the apes down there, look what they're doing now? They're invading countries and they're at war with each other. What do you really think they're doing? A lot of them. That's Benny's.
Different ones have different intentions. There's been plenty. They're saying that the reason why we had UFO crashes was because they simply went on a joyride, went sightseeing. They view this planet like a zoo.
Yeah. Tijuana.
Some days.
Let's go on holidays.
What's that?
Nope.
That's if they treat it like Tijuana or something like that. Let's go on holidays. Let's go to work. I don't know. Again, there'd be a lot of different reasons. There seems to be so many of them out there. We're locked down at the moment. If we're to believe what's happening, I'm a firm believer on what we're finding out. I think Dakota, you're the same as me. We're getting rock solid information, according to me, anyway. A lot of stuff has been verified in many different ways for me to say, yeah, okay, I'm just going with this. I get more of a gut feeling now.
Yes.
If it's 3 or 4 times that you're after hitting the mark on the same thing, you just have to say, right, well, that's it. I don't care what the government are trying to tell me because they're not trustable anyway. Don't listen to them, That's just obvious at this stage. Government want one thing, people want another. Government want war so they can make money out of us. Nobody wants to go to war. Ask the people that are picking up the weapons. You want to fight him? You want to fight him? They're then on. I'd rather get on, have a beer with them, whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody. It's only governments and people in power that want us fighting each other. And as soon as we realise that, they're done. See, I think they're realising it now. That's what the panic is. That's why the panic and all the bullshit stories trying to confuse everyone. And people are seeing through it because they've been caught lying so much, People are seeing through their shit.
See, I was talking to somebody the other day and they were like, oh, the full of the alien stuff and that. And they're like, to me, well, can't wait till the aliens come. They'll come down, they'll give us ships, they'll teach us to travel the universe. And I says, it's not going to work like that. I don't think it's going to work like that. I think they're going to say, here's extraterrestrials, here's what we've got. Well, because we have got technology that we've got for them, right? I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think they're going to actually physically give us their technology. I think we have to do that. We have to, as a race of beings, we have to do that ourselves.
Well,
Because
look,
aye.
As a Terran, your birthright is the technology that the military already withheld from you.
Yes, yeah, that's
so
what I'm
they're going
talking
to have
about.
to cough that up before they even upgrade it, if you know what I mean. And that's very good technology. I mean, that's where the med beds are.
Yeah.
They have all of that shit. That's your birthright. They've restricted it for 70 years, and you need to get it. And then we can talk about the more advanced stuff. But you already you should have that stuff already. It's just a matter of really just the military will give it to you. It's the government that's the problem at the moment.
Can you imagine
The
that
government
technology?
and the military will just go, yep, it's for the people, and the people demand it. You know, they're not going to release that stuff to the governments, and they'll corrupt it, and it's as simple as that. And I wouldn't do it either. You couldn't release that into the hands of them fucking animals, you know.
Oh yeah.
See, it's like the med beds, for instance. You think about all these companies out of the world that are making trillions of dollars on medication for cancers, right? Like one pill's like $500 or something stupid like that. Whereas they could get this med bed and somebody that's really unwell, they could pop them in there. But I don't know how long it takes. Pop it in there and then pop them back out again. And they're going to lose all their money. But I think we need to leave money behind. I think, and it's true what people say, we need to go into a kind of Star Trek culture. We need to get rid of money. We need to get rid of it. Totally. Because money has done nothing but destroy this earth. You think about all the billionaires out there, trillionaires that are making billions for cobalt mines, with child labour and stuff like that. And it's money. What is money anyway? Money just is like a token that buys it. I can go to the shop and buy off a can of juice, right? What is money? I mean, what is if we made our society better? If we have this technology where we can travel as cars, where we can heal people, we can probably. How long do you think the humans will last longer? What I mean is, with these medibeds, do you think it'll put our lifespans more, like maybe 200 years?
I love how you were muffled again.
Yeah,
I know. Am I muffled again there?
No,
just
well,
when you were
now
talking,
you're back, but
now you're fine. It's just when you were talking, you were muffled.
That is weird.
you know, like, come on, people! I already had enough issues trying to understand what this man says when he gets excited.
See, the thing is, I can understand when Dot speaks loud, I can understand everything he says because he's Celtic like me. He's got a Celtic blood like me, Scotland and Ireland and stuff like that. But I was getting right into that there. I was like, we have to get rid of money, and we have to. Am I muffled? Still muffled?
No, you're okay now. Yeah.
We have to get rid of muffle. We have to get rid of money, right? And we have to try and go down the Star Trek route. Can you imagine how better this world would be if everybody worked together?
Oh yeah.
And we started traveling the stars, and we started mining. Instead of mining this beautiful planet, we could mine like asteroids and get our stuff for that. And instead, it's money. It's these elite few that control this planet. If I disappear, guys, by the way, Dakota will be looking for a new co-host. There you go, Tots. Give me his new co-host. But anyway,
I'll pass the target to me.
I'm really looking forward to this disclosure stuff because I think it's going to free people. But I do have that wee bit in me where what's going to happen with cults and what's going to happen with religions. Look what happened. Was it the Heaven's Gate when the asteroid was coming, when the comet was coming? And
yeah, there was. You have Heaven's Gate, and when you get to thinking about it, some of the stuff they talked about, how you die, the UFOs that collect you. Technically, when we're talking about star seeds, he goes like, "Holy shit, those crazy people were right." There was just another doomsday cult that just found a mass death not too long ago.
Yes,
that's one of those things. A lot of people's like, "Oh no, it wouldn't be that bad. It's like, we already have people freaking out because they think they saw reptilians. We have people killing off their own families with spear guns.
See, that's
because they have reptilian DNA.
Right, I'm going to ask you something. Has any of you
That was
seen
an actual
that
case
TikTok?
here in the States.
Is any of you, is anybody in the chat, or is any of you seen that TikTok video that's out there that's circulating? It's on YouTube. The woman in the passenger plane. She says she's seen a reptilian. She says the person changed before their eyes.
Allegedly, the backstory behind this, as y'all would say over there, that woman was very pissed before going on the plane.
Yep. Have you seen
that's
the Chinese
story
one?
That's going around.
Okay.
Have you seen the Chinese one?
That
was just released
Chinese
the other day.
One.
There's a Chinese one. A man, he freaks out. A Chinese passenger freaks out. He says he was sitting in the aisle. I've not seen the video yet, but people have said, and the Chinese guy is sitting there on this Chinese. I can't know, it was Malaysia Airlines or something like that. Look it up, guys, in the chat. And the woman, the flight attendant, walked past him, and he said she looked really weird. She looked just weird. Her face it didn't move. She didn't have any she looked like she had a lot of plastic surgery, put it that way. She didn't have any muscles in her face, right? She went through and she drew the curtain, right? But she didn't draw it all the way. And it was open a wee bit, and he's sitting there and he's watching her, and she presses her back, and a thing popped out her back, and she pulled it right out her back. Aye. And then she puts it back into her back again and clicks it back in. Mm-hmm. See, I don't know if a lot of this is all made up, right, because of what's been happening. I do think there's a lot of misinformation out there. And that's something we do need to address. Because people are making money off of this. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I tend to dismiss a lot of that stuff instantly. I remember it, just in case it does come back up again, and but I get an instant sort of, that doesn't make sense. Or, yes, that does make sense. Yeah. But I tend to hit it, either a yes or a no, and then move on, and I'll come back to it as I need to, and I won't get tied up on it. I'm not going to get all the spin me wheels forever tied up on a TikTok video. I just video. Move on.
There's only a few people I trust now, and when it comes to the UFO stuff, I trust Dakota, and I trust Elena's stuff. That's it, because I'm very, very. There's that much shit out there, and there is a lot of disinformation. But going back to the religion things, I mean, what do you think this disclosure's got to do to religion? Do you think it'll change it in any way? I mean, I still believe there's a creator, and I still believe that there's an afterlife.
Belief systems worldwide are going to change.
Oh yeah.
Their own. Groups will have their own belief systems, and we can all get on together. We'll be fine, because out there they all have different belief systems anyway. But most of them get on. Some of them don't, obviously. But they all respect each other's beliefs, and we need to do that as well, because we've plenty of different opinions down here, and we can all appreciate each other and live with each other and have different opinions. It's when some asshole pushes their opinion on you, it's an issue. Yeah. Live and let live, and put up with somebody, and eventually you'll become friends. We all need to get on, and that's it.
Of course we do. I think that's what we need to do. We need to
tolerate each other, or else we're done as a species. We just self-destruct. So we have to tolerate each other and respect each other's beliefs. But you cannot ram your belief down somebody else's throat.
Exactly.
Again, sorry, this is all just my opinion, lads, but I mean, it makes more sense to me this way, because we need to work together on this.
We do.
Unfortunately, kind of going back to corporate greed, it's actually being speculated right now that a lot of these companies are trying to push woke culture, because they found, there's actual studies behind this, they found that diversity creates less generous behavior. And when it comes to the workspace, your workers are less likely to unionize and actually, get, things they actually deserve. I mean, let's look at the situation in Hollywood right now, where people are just trying to find stuff that ensures that they have a job to go to. They're going to be able to pay their bills. yes, we were talked about some of the conspiracies about how AI is going to be used as an excuse. Try to disclaim any videos that come out about any wrongdoing, but nevertheless, there's a lot of people freaking out right now because they're realizing the big bosses are assholes. Nobody can afford a decent living without like 5 other different people in the same household. And the same push about trying to be more inclusive is being pushed because it's pissing people off how far it's being shoved down our throats.
Yeah.
And we're getting to the point where they're starting to target kids right now who don't know any better. They're counting on the fact that the whole family unit is basically destroyed nowadays. Hardly any families these days, just sit down and have dinner because everybody has alternating schedules.
Yeah. Look, whoever runs this world, the dark family, as I call them, the people that run, the real people that run the White House, the real people that run what's happening in Europe and stuff like that, they are making trillions and trillions of dollars off of this because they own the factories. They own the factories that make the weapons, but they also own the factories that make the band-aids. I'm just using this as a kind of hang.
Yeah.
And they're selling the weapons, but they're also selling the medical supplies. And they're just this just keeps happening, and they're making billions and trillions off of us, poor suckers. But I think, when you go, Dutch?
They're very smart, and they tell you what they're doing. When they say sustainable, they mean their jobs. They're not talking about it. When they say everything says, we need it sustainable, that's their job they're talking about. They're never going to do their job correctly if they have another job to do next year. Because as soon as if they complete the job, then you're finished and let somebody else in and take over. No. They drag it out for as long as possible. Sustainable. Their fucking job is sustainable, and that's it.
Yeah.
So don't you listen to the words they say. They tell you what they're going to do beforehand. They absolutely do. They're cheeky fuckers,
Oh, yeah. See, the thing is, with the war in Europe, that's all planned. That's all planned, and it's making trillions of dollars for the elites. Might not seem that way, but it is. It's making eventually that country's going to fall. Right? Eventually it's going to fall because it can't anymore. And see, when it falls, they'll come up with some other mad idea to make more money. Oh, look, there's a new pandemic. I'm telling you, that's what they're going to do.
I think the jig is at this stage, though. I mean, I think the jig is up. I think people are onto them.
Oh,
I don't think they can try, but I mean,
they can try, but what's that in the chat there?
Don't forget the people that take up the weapons that go to fight these wars. They have fucking brains as well, and they're people. They're not going to take them orders. They're going to cop on and just go, fuck this, not happening. We're not doing this. They proved themselves completely irresponsible. No matter what country or what government it is, they're all bought and paid for. We're going to realize that. We're just going to have to say, no fucking more. Sorry for the cursing.
That's fine. That's
passionate.
Look, hopefully when this disclosure happens and all the technology, most of the technology is released to the public sector, and we can have these medibeds, I think a lot of these companies around the world are going to collapse. Like the pharmaceutical companies, they're going to collapse.
Yeah, but there's no need for them anymore,
The weapons industry, we need to get rid of all the weapons. We need to get rid of our nuclear weapons. We need to. I think it's a big factor in this. I think when we do manage to change the governments in this world, I think our main priority would be, I'm not saying get rid of like defensive purposes, obviously. Look, see, this is the thing. If there was bad aliens out there, which there is some bad aliens out there, I'll admit that, and the aliens that are visiting us now, they could so easily wipe us out. They could so easily wipe us out. All they need is nudge an asteroid or something like that towards us, or some stupid like that. I think we need to get rid of a lot of the weapons of mass destruction. I mean, what's your thoughts on this, Dakota? Do you think it's a good idea to get, when we start rebuilding this world, to get rid of a lot of the dangerous technologies that we've got?
The thing is, with weapons of mass destruction, when we started testing the atomic bomb in the 1940s, we all know, and it's well acknowledged, that's when UFOs really started to make an appearance. Yes, there was an occasional sighting here, sighting there. You know, I mean, ghost sightings. Newspaper I did an interview for a couple of years ago pointed out that one of the earliest ghost sightings took place back in ancient Greece. Now, when it comes to these weapons, yes, we're not necessarily get rid of all of them because, let's face it, there's still assholes going to be out there. The repressives may be gone, but there's still assholes out there waiting for an opportunity to stir up trouble. And we have to be ready for it. But weapons of mass destruction, the atomic bomb, that fucked up a lot more shit than we realized, basically. And there's other people starting to say, hey, you're kind of bombing us. We didn't do anything to you.
See, that's what I'm saying, right? I will have to have like a military presence, right? We have to deal with the Galactic Federation. We'll have to have like a military presence in like a solar system and that to protect ourselves from any stray bad people, extraterrestrials that come in, right? I'm not saying that. I'm saying that these nuclear weapons that we've got, what's the purpose of them? What is the purpose of them? I mean, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of warheads stashed away all over this planet, right? We need to get rid of them. Because it only takes one. It only takes one to start a war.
No, you're dead right. And the purpose for them was to make money. They'll sell whatever. They'll sell any story and just sell it to you anyway. And I mean, they're exceptionally dangerous. We wouldn't be let use them anyway. I mean, you mess around with fourth and fifth density there. And there's so many races that have just go, absolutely not. I think most of the nuclear weapons have probably been dismantled or neutralized at this stage.
Yeah.
And there's no going forward with nuclear weapons. We don't need them for defense. We're going to have much better stuff anyway. So that's just totally backwards. I wouldn't be going near it. We can have defense shields up where nuclear weapons have no effect on them anyway, but you don't want any nuclear radiation knocking around. That's just messy. The explosion itself is actually what causes damage in the other dimensions, as far as I know. But I don't think there'll be any future for nuclear weapons. You know?
I don't think there will.
You're like keeping hold of a bow and arrow when you're in a tank. And the bow and arrow is poisonous and you're going to stick yourself with it. It'd be just ridiculous to hold on to it. Dangerous and pointless because, you don't need it. The technology's better.
See, it's like let's take the Galactic Federation, right? Let's take the Galactic Federation, one of their high sophisticated ships, right? Something high, the most sophisticated ships that they've got, right? You fire a nuclear missile at that, what's it got to do? Probably nothing, because they'll probably turn it off by the time it hits its hull. Yeah, I mean, it's probably. You look what happens. There was reports where fighter jet pilots have actually tried to shoot at these UFOs, and the rounds have went right through them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our weapons are old.
Yeah, if they're in a different density, it'll go straight through anyway.
Exactly.
But I don't even know if you can see them if they're in a different density, so I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that. But, a fire jet against something that's anti-gravity drive, come on. Anti-gravity drive can go instant fast. Yeah. So it's a joke. You can't go up against something like that, No.
I mean, obviously we do have the secret space program and that, and obviously we do have the secret stuff.
Oh, you got a pause.
Oh,
what's happened there?
And here with
you froze for a second.
Scotland's been bombed.
No, that was weird. That, by the way, because I was still live. I was talking away.
No, you may have been talking away, but you were cut off.
Yeah, you froze.
They're coming for me. Take me.
Well.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, God.
Oh, okay, right. Chris was taking. You've seen it live on air, folks.
Live on air. You saw it.
Oh, amazing.
Oh, that couldn't have been more perfect.
What happened?
You said
take me away, and you just disappeared.
My computer screen just went all black.
You literally disappeared from our side,
You
Chris.
disappeared from me.
No, you were completely logged out, Chris. You were completely logged out on our end. You were not here. Right as you said, "Take me," you're gone.
You went.
Take me! I'm ready! Take me back! Fuck's sake. They must have broke me back really quick. I'm going to take that bastard on the plane. He's annoying him.
Oh my god.
That's weird, that, isn't it? I mean, how's
Never
that
been that
possible?
perfect. It's never been that perfect.
I went, take me back, and then you just disappeared. And I was sitting drinking my can of juice, and I sat it down, and then you just popped back again.
But funny enough, a minute ago, a light in front of me flashed. I don't know if anyone, maybe somebody in the chat noticed it, but I could have sworn the light beamed up, and there's a power protector on this. It shouldn't do that, you know.
Ken, I do have a weird feeling that we're not alone right now. It's weird. It's honestly, I feel like there's somebody standing behind Dots, and that's the honest truth. I feel I came with it as Tay, and I don't want to say it because then it'll freak them out.
No, you're not going to freak me out. If somebody's in here, they got through my frequency. They're a friend.
You came out, I see.
How do you get in here?
You came out, I see, right? And I'm bad for this, right? It's not a spirit that I see. It's like a tall one, really tall, skinny.
Which side? This side? That side?
Aye. I'd read about where your calendar is on the wall. He's just standing there. You ever seen the film? You ever seen that film? I don't know what these races are called. You ever seen the film AI about the wee boy robot?
Oh yeah.
Right. You see how there's aliens in that, extraterrestrials in that at the very end, and they're tall and skinny, and they've got funny looking faces. They don't have any features. That is what standing behind you. That's what I can see moving about.
Oh, cool.
Something looks exactly the same as that, and it's moving about.
Excellent. Make us a couple.
That's weird. I mean, how could you plan that? I mean, take me. It'd be funny if there was a light beam and beam me up. Do you think how famous you would be? I'd be even more famous, but I'd be like, yeah.
You'd be more famous. You'd be gone.
I know. I'd be aboard the mothership, ladies and gentlemen. I'd be aboard the ladies.
Like, the Russians finally got him.
Yep. I'll tell you something new. I hope I never go to Russia. They'll probably put me in the jail for a long time. That's weird, though. There's a lot of weird shit going on tonight. A lot of weird stuff.
Man, I'm usually the one that has the weird stuff happening.
Maybe it's because I've not been practicing what I used to do for a long time, and because I've not been taking sugary products, I'm opening them back up again.
Maybe,
you know what I'm saying? Whereas at Iron Fire Horses, glitches like that happen all the time, but the timing on that one was perfect.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It was.
You couldn't have got it anywhere.
See, maybe this is our friends just having a wee joke of us to help people
They
wake
would
up.
do that.
See, this is the thing. Remember they done that with you, Dakota, when we first started doing this show, and I said, and we were joking about with the Galactic Command, and I said to you about something, your EMF meter kept lighting up every time, and we were joking about. See, it makes you wonder.
That was my wife fucking with me.
I think they have got a sense of humour. I really do think they've got a sense of humour.
Big time, yeah.
They're a lot more human than people realize.
They're just like us, but they've got the power to do what they want. And they're probably all sitting right now laughing away, all the different races and the command bridge or whatever they are, and they're probably laughing away. Come on, can you not take Dakota? I'll be good. Make him disappear, just...
Oh, brilliant.
Oh my god, I honestly don't know, guys. Honestly.
You can't ever deny we don't live up to the name.
But here's an interesting question talking about disclosure and that, right? When all these files are finally released, right? And finally, we get the technology slowly released, right? Because it's going to happen, right? And we change this world slightly, maybe in 10 years' time. When do you think they'll actually come down and meet with us? I mean, in front of everybody.
Then I bet you shouldn't tell my answer I had lined up.
Because that'd be interesting. I would like to know, because obviously we will meet with them. We'll have to meet with them.
I'm sure there's a lot of them here already.
Yeah, but I mean in the public eyes.
You know, you just openly, as in talking to us. Again, if you want a time, I can't give you a time. You know.
No, I know what you're saying. There's no time limit. There's no time when you can do this. But what I'm saying is,
well, in a timeline war, let's say, right? Why would you give away the one thing that can be moved around? As soon as you give the time, then you have a target for the goodies and the bodies to go for.
Oh yeah.
One thing that moves around is the time in the timeline war.
Right,
so there's one question that cannot be answered. Everything else can, except for when it's going to happen. You know.
I know that there's extraterrestrials already in this world, like Elon Musk, like Iron Firehorse said. There is, there's something dodgy about him. There's just something dodgy about him. There's obviously ones that are here that look exactly like us, right? But what I'm saying is right, I don't want a time frame, but what I want is, do you think it will come a point, maybe 10, 20 years or 30 years down the line, once we're starting to evolve into a race that's traveling the stars, do you think there'll come a point where they come down one day, right, and they say, hello, I'm Zargon the Magnificent or something like that, and I'm for this planet, and we would like to meet with you in front of the TV crews. Do you think there will come a point within our lifetimes?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking 20, 30 years. I think it'd be way before that. Way before that. You know? Now, they'll come down and talk to a few people. There's going to be a lot of stragglers that they probably won't want to talk to at all, but they'll be able to tell that by their brainwaves anyway. I get that. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm here to offer my story or what I know to whoever's interested, but I'm not going to bend anyone's arm. It's up to them to make a decision, and they get to do what they want. Once they don't piss me off or try and get me to do something that I don't want to do, I'll let them do their own thing, and they have their own opinions. They're the ones that change their mind. I'm not on this planet to change their mind. They change their own mind. I just offer what I know. All of us are doing that. Nobody has the right to tell somebody else what to do.
Yeah.
Well, that's just my opinion. You know? I don't force it on anyone. I offer it. If they accept it, they accept it. You know.
I fully believe we're going to start seeing things possibly within the next year.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Just with the pattern of how things are going. And just yes, I've asked around for time frames, and they've been given, and just kind of a rough, by 2024, we might start seeing something. And obviously, back then, I just kind of let the note of it, set it aside. I was like, all right, we'll see what happens. And seeing the patterns that we are seeing today, there's no doubt in my mind that there's something going to come forward. As far as what they arrange, this is not the first planet that they've had. They've assisted with this kind of freedom. They know from experience that it has to take its own course of action. They're trying to progress it as much as they can because it was withheld for so long, but they're still trying to help make sure it's done in a safe manner so people just don't freak out. It's like, what was that movie, Paul, where the little alien dude says that the picture of me was being drip fed to your world ever since you found out about me, so our species ever do meet, you don't have a fucking spaz attack.
See, it's interesting you say that, because I don't know, maybe you've seen this, Dot. In the UK, they knew, and I noticed in France too that you can watch like adverts and stuff, because I've got like Sky TV and stuff. You can watch TV channels for all around the world. There's a lot of adverts now for like the stupidest things, right? But they have like aliens in them, extraterrestrials in them.
Yeah.
And they've got one where it's like a family moving into a new house, and they're extraterrestrials. and everybody's treating them weird because they're like green, right? And then there's another one where it's like an advert, and it's this alien with big eyes and stuff like that. And I think it's true what you're saying, Dakota. I think they're priming folk. I think they really are. They're priming us.
Well, they have to. You're looking at thousands of years of conditioning. You know what I mean? They have to be unwound. I mean, there's so many people are going to lose their fucking mind when they find out that this has happened, and that, you know, wool's been pulled over our eyes, all of us, every single one of us on the planet, for a long time, and that has to be undone. Or at least people have to, you know, get their head around it and try and accept it and then move past it. And that's going to be hard for everyone. That really is going to be hard. That's the hardest thing that we have to do, is accept it and move past it, and then sort of rebuild. And we have to rebuild correctly. You don't give the same politicians and business people the position of power ever again. They have to go. Mm-hmm. And we rebuild and we make the decisions. We all come together ourselves and come to a decision collectively. You know, again, it's going to take time, and it's going to be painful. But at the same time, I see through that, and I know we're better for it. There's not a lot of smart people on the planet that can get through this. A hell of a lot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's two questions.
We are going to take casualties. No doubt we're going to take casualties, because some people just don't want to go. And you can't force them. You cannot force them to do anything. Now, if they stand in your way, that's different. You always have to defend yourself. But don't go after somebody just because they have a different opinion. Just leave them alone. You know? Let them off. They'll see the light or not. You know? They'll see where you are in a couple of years' time and probably chase after you.
Oh, and yeah.
Not, so be it. Even if they're a relation or something, you have to. I'd like to think that somebody would let me make a decision for me. And I'd like to give them the same thing. You make your own decision, but just make sure that there's choices there, to have a look at the choices rather than just go with this because somebody told you to. Have a look at the options and weigh it up yourself. That's what.
There's actually.
Again, I'm not pushing Anton on anybody.
Yeah. There's actually two questions in the chat there. The Facebook user, I don't know what your name is because it says Facebook user. What's with the gloves? I've got very painful hands, and I wear. Would you call these gloves again? They're like compression gloves, arthritis gloves, and that's what they're for. But there was that question there, which is quite interesting. Do you think
they're just the same as them?
Yeah, I've got actually two pairs. I've got ones that I drive with, and they've got like rubber bits on them. But there's one there that says, "Do you think there's a question there, Dakota?" Let me scroll back to it. I can't find it. The creator extraterrestrials. See, that's an interesting one. See, I don't think we're originally from this planet. I think we're from a different planet. I think there's thousands of humanoid species throughout the universe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You have to, in the earliest, scriptures, we're talking about, biblical texts that were etched on clay tablets. There was already a hominid species that was on Earth by the time God showed up and started messing around. There was already genetic experiments done to where different groups of ETs mixed in their DNA. And even in mainstream science, there's still unknown branches of early human evolution that we don't know where the hell it came from. Australian Aborigine people, they have a genetic ancestor that we don't know where it is or where they came from or where they went. It's no doubt that no matter what angle you look at it from, humans today are the result of a lot of intermixing and interbreeding. The being we know as God, yeah, he was technically extraterrestrial. He does get traced back to Anunnaki, and he's been back for a little bit.
Yeah. Was the person Facebook user? It says it's me again. We don't know who you are.
I'll bring it up on the screen. This is how we see you.
We see you.
This is how we see
you. There's only like 6 billion Facebook users. We just need to pick somebody.
And we don't stream to just one Facebook platform.
Yes.
We stream to quite a few. So
it's oh my god. I'm looking forward to this disclosure. I will say that because it's been needing to happen. for a long time. And I'm hoping that when they do release this, it is going to solve some problems. So obviously, it's going to take a while, right? Everybody
Well,
cares that it's going to take a while.
if you're waiting for mainstream to release, it's not going to happen.
Oh, no.
Disclosure right now, and it's going to be what we're doing. So you're going to have groups of people worldwide that are going to be talking about this. Mainstream can't do shit about that. They'll try and ban it. As you said, how many networks are you on? They can't ban everything. And everyone's going to be talking. I mean, people will be talking about this in the shops. As soon as the ship shows up, you know what I mean? Every time you go down to the store or whatever, you're going to be talking about it. So they've lost that battle. But don't wait for the media to tell you what's going on.
Oh, no.
They're going to put their own spin in it. We're the disclosure. That's it, you know? And I don't trust them anyway, no matter what they say. You have guys up there with the sonic pins and saying one story, another story. It's just like, fuck off. I've been on this for a few years. You're full of shit, you know?
It's
sorry about the cursing again, folks.
That's fine. It's fine. Look, it's what I'm looking forward to is the people out there that stick their neck out on the UFO subjects, right? And they actually Dakota and U-Dots and and Elena and all the other people that have stuck to this and they've told the truth and all that, and they've been ridiculed throughout the years for what they believe in, right? And then when it finally comes out, all these folk that have said all these things are going to be like, fuck, they were right.
When they won't even have the balls to say anything because, I mean, hell, I've been watching some of the chatter. It looks like there's going to be some people that are going to try to fuck up the event down in October. But nevertheless, once it comes out that, yes, these people were onto something, the people that were trying to shut it down, they're not going to say shit.
No, they'd be quiet.
No, they're just going to go quiet.
Yeah,
and sit in their own little corners.
But my favorite saying is when tinfoil hats turn into crowns of knowledge. And I mean, that's happening. That's happening very quickly. You're not going to be laughed at very soon. And as I said, I don't need any credit for figuring this out. I don't want fame. I just, get the word out. And if you want to hear it, fair enough.
I just want the world to be a better place.
Not interested in having arguments with people over this at all. The evidence is rolling out. You don't even have to argue. As I said, in a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, I'm very patient with this stuff because I've been waiting a long time anyway. So I can wait a little bit more, let people catch up. But we're having a conversation right now. Let's get ahead of it. Get more people involved. Keep talking.
Do you think? And this is something I was thinking about the other night. See how we've had all these extraterrestrials that we've supposedly shot down, right? And they've been killed, and then we've kept them and stuff like that, right? And do you think that whoever's done this to these entities will have to pay the price if they're still alive? Do you think that those extraterrestrials will want those bodies back?
I remember Alex telling a story about, I think it was a Tau Ceti pilot that got captured, and then he was taken underground to a particular base, and they did horrible things to him. And I think he said the Tau Ceti wanted to invade, particularly, I think he said North Dakota. I think he said that specifically, or the US, to get their pilot back. They were ready to invade the planet to get one pilot back. Now, you know what I mean? That's what Alex said. I sort of believed him. I was like, yeah, that's cool. If that's the way things work out there, your whole race can be held responsible for the actions of the group of assholes. So you have to be careful now,
You disappeared from me there.
But as I said, if the whole race can be held responsible for a group of idiots, there's a lot of stuff that we don't know what went on.
See, that's what I was going to say. I mean, there's obviously been over the years, there's been the black governments have made deals with the bad entities out there, the Greys, for instance. We'll mention some of them. Obviously, no all Greys are bad, but what we're talking about here is they are going to have to face up to what they've done to people when they've been abducting them. They've been letting people be abducted and operated on and stuff like that. These people should be tried for what they've done to people.
I agree, but I'm not going to really get wrapped up in a whole revenge thing. We need to, put out the fire first and then call a committee.
Oh yeah, I know what you're saying.
Not going to get wrapped up in having a dispute about what's going to happen to them. Be like, take care of the fucking problem, and then we can take care of them. And there's other guys that are much more equipped that are here to help us, that are taking care of the ET problem. We need to sort out what's going on down here. Exactly. That's our job, That's our job, and they're not going to do it for us. So that's just the way I say it. And it is our mess. This is damage control.
Aye.
This is our damage control. It's our fucking planet. So we need to take care of this shit.
Exactly.
This planet's totally messed up.
It's got a lot of good people, though. It's got a lot of good people. If they have a voice and they come together, we can sort this out. There's a lot of smart people on this planet. Well, there's a lot of assholes as well, but you know what I mean. There's enough smart people on this planet to get us out of it.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, I saw an interview with him years ago, and he was talking about the government structure here in the U.S. His question is, where is the rest of life? We have all these different people in government that only come from law backgrounds. Where's the rest of life? If you're going to have representatives, deal with all the issues for the people, you should have people from all aspects of life that actually know what the hell they're talking about, instead of just spitfiring what they can just because they want to make an argument.
Well, do you think Neil deGrasse Tyson is going to get any work now when all this comes out? I mean, he's been spouting the same shit forever. So, I mean, he was supposed to be top of his game, headed the Hayden Planetarium and all that crap. And when this comes out, I'll personally make sure that he never gets a job educating anybody again.
Exactly.
That's ridiculous. Now, I'm not going to punch him for it, but just going to make sure he can't do any more damage. I'm positive he was read into it, because there's no way he could have pushed back so much, being a scientific man, saying, where's the evidence, when there's so much evidence out there and so many fucking stars. You know what I mean? He deliberately put up blocks in front of people, deliberately misleading people. He's not going to work as soon as this comes out. He's never going to get work again and never be trusted.
He's making his money the new, isn't he?
He's dug the hole for himself. He dug the hole for himself. So I'm not really too concerned. When all this comes out, he's going to be out of the way. He's eliminated himself now. He's done it.
Yeah, true.
There's a lot of them that's got to be out of a job when this all comes out.
Oh, absolutely. And there's been an awful lot of people that will be wanting to know this new stuff so they can go forward. They'll be into it. They'll pick it up very quickly, They'll be like, oh, that's how the science works. Because science has been lying to us, but 30%, I'd say, of science isn't correct. They've deliberately led us astray to keep us restricted, to not get, free power.
You just need to look down the lines of patents. People that have disappeared because they've invented things. I mean, look at the guy that built the device for the Mercury. It was a levitation device. He just disappeared one day, never to be seen again. And then there was the guy that made the engine that ran in water. He just disappeared there. And all these people.
Another one who started putting on TikTok that conveniently was a victim in one of the mass shootings out of Buffalo, New York.
Whoa.
It's. I bet you there's somewhere on this planet right now. And in that vault, there's all these files with all the patents on them. And they need to be released along with, obviously, the newer technology too. And
there was over 5,000 patents released at the beginning of the year, as far as I know. Or they were due to be released. I didn't actually look. That was some of the stuff that was restricted. So hopefully they're in, pushed in development. They're in alpha or beta stage, and they should have them rolling out soon. But again, they're not going to hand them to us. They're not going to hand them to us if the governments are in charge. They're not going to give away technology to them. They're just not. So if we want that technology, which is our birthright, which the military have had for 70 odd years more,
Mm-hmm.
we need to step up and say, give us our shit. That's ours. We paid for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Exactly. All these pushes for disclosure, you really got to stop and think. Why is it that they're ignoring the majority of people that are having these experiences? Yes, they may not have the necessary background to understand what the heck happened to them, But nevertheless, there's still a lot of people who have a lot of questions, and they may have something that they may just be able to tell their story and find something that is the missing piece that all these brilliant scientists have been stumbling themselves over. The majority is being left out. We need to step up, but unfortunately, we've also developed the habit to where once, say, all those patents do get released, who's all actually going to sit down and read them all?
I have a sneaky suspicion an awful lot of people are already on it. You know, there's so many people, the researchers out there that probably almost cracked it, you know, and then they'll see these patents being released and go, wow, that's what I almost had. And, you know, they'll work with that. If they're open to the public, then anyone can work on them. I don't know if that's going to happen because they want, you know, if it's an open source patent to be different, there's no profit to be made. It's all about profit at the moment. Well,
exactly.
We'll get around that. We'll realize that humanitarian, if everything's pumped back into humanitarian, we'll get this done pretty quickly.
I think we know this come out and all these technology comes out. I think we need to focus on these main things. Technology for clean energy. That's a big one, right? We need to focus on health, the medibeds, right? And we need to try and focus on stop all these fucking wars. We need to stop all these
wars. The wars will stop as soon as you remove the governments because the people don't want wars. It's as simple as that. People don't want to go to war. Governments want to go to war. So as soon as the government's out of the picture, there'll be no wars to worry about. There'll be a couple of skirmishes, but the majority of people that want to get on.
Yeah.
I don't see a big problem there. Once we take that head down, that's it. We can all just like, oh, excellent, let's do it. You know.
But there'll be governments that will refuse to go down. There will be governments that refuse to go down. I mean, just look at North Korea. Kenny's got what he's got, but I mean, there will be governments out there that will refuse to go down. What happens to those governments? Do you forcefully go in with the new technology and deal with them?
I don't think any government will be able to stand up to the people. Once the people stand up, that's it. Government's gone. What power do they have? Who are they going to talk to? If nobody's listening to them, what are they going to say to you? You know? They put on the broadcast on the national carrier. If nobody has the fucking TV turned on, nobody's listening to them. And that's what's going to happen. They've lost interest. They've lost everyone's interest now because of the lies. And I think everyone's starting to see that. So...
This is what I believe, right? This is what I'm thinking about. That's so true, right? But what about countries in the world that are that big a police state that don't allow their people to look out? Let's take North Korea, for instance, right? It does not allow its people internet. It does not allow its people to... Oh, yes, there's a black market to like bring stuff in and that, and word of mouth will eventually slowly get in. But just look at North Korea. Come on, they're eating each other because they've not got much food. I mean, what happens if, right, hypothetically here, what happens if, like, say, North Korean government decide to kill their people to stop this from happening? Do we use that technology to go in and deal with them?
Because of the dietary restrictions in North Korea, you have to realize airdropping a bunch of chocolate bars is all it takes to not to take them out. That's how bad malnutritious they are. It's a lot like victims of the Holocaust. Soldiers giving candies and stuff to the victims of the Holocaust. Those people were so malnourished that the small act of kindness made them either very, very violently ill or just flat out killed them because their bodies could not handle it.
I'm going to say this, there is going to be... I know the governments will fall and hopefully civilization will be able to rebuild itself in a better way, but there is going to be people out there. There are always people out there that want to do evil, right? I know what you said, Dots, there'll be wee skirmishes here and there. So how do we deal with them? Do we use the new technology to deal with them? How do we go about this? Or do we set like a law? See, this is what I always wondered. All the governments collapse. Who's got to be in charge? Let's face it, we've got to have somebody. We've got to have like a council or something like that runs everything. Who has got to do it?
And I suppose everyone has to agree on it. I'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We'll get disclosure out of the way. I think everyone's going to come together. And there'll be none of this crap. Everyone's just going to go, right, this is enough of this crap. Let's all get together and sort this out. There won't be, you know what I mean? You're asking me the question. There'll be 8 billion voices coming at you in one go, and they're all going in one direction. You know?
Yeah.
Fucking stop this shit. We're going there. And that's it. And again, that's just my opinion. I see it that way because people are just sick of it. You know?
Well, the world's messed up, man. The world's. You just look what's happening in the UK. The new, I mean, with the price of electricity and the price of food, and there's no need for it. There's no in the famines in Africa and stuff like that. There's no need for that. We could cure that in a couple of months, so easily, but we don't because there's more, it's all to do with the dollar and gold and silver and money.
But here's the thing: only 10% of the world's wealth. Think about this: 10% of the world's wealth is physical cash.
Yes.
Why are we fussing over that? 10% of the world's 10% of the world's wealth is physical. And kind of go back to what we're saying. Yes, something big is about to happen. There's been a timestamp. Why do you think the politicians are starting to push for population reduction by 2025?
I know, I've seen that. Did you see that? Did you actually? Was it that Pamela Harris at the White House? She did a speech. Yeah. Did you see that? Where she says a future for our children, we need to reduce population. I can't believe she actually said that on air.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it's going to happen. Okay, I mean, because what's happening
in the for population reduction?
No. Aye, start with first.
Say goodbye to the old people first.
Take me away. I'll disappear again. No. Hey, what happened there? I was on a planet there for 10 years and now they've brought me back. Has any time passed?
I couldn't resist.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Oh God!
Oh God! It's a time. Somebody will see this and they'll be like, "Oh my God, that guy's just spending time as a time traveler." It's something that impels me. That do you think there is such a thing as time travel? Do you think there's any? Obviously, there is extraterrestrials out there that've done it, right? But obviously, it doesn't work to 100% because it creates another world every time they do it. Because I've heard about this. Do you think? I wonder if there's any for our future right now watching this planet, like millions of years more advanced, watching us right now. Look at these three guys talking about what was going to happen.
Galactic Federation's from 300 years in the future.
Yep.
But I thought it wasn't. I thought it wasn't possible. I thought time travel wasn't possible.
Time travel.
If you look up Project Pegasus, the US government was doing time travel back in the 60s, 70s, and there's about 200 papers on the internet on that.
Aye, but
yes, for the Marvel nerds, Project Pegasus is Captain Marvel.
All right, I didn't know that.
But here's the thing: I learned. I've read a few sci-fi books and that, and a few people that talk about time travel and extraterrestrials and that, and they said that there was a race of beings out there, and when they did come back, they came to Earth maybe 100 years later, but it wasn't their Earth. They created another dimension, basically. I thought it wasn't possible.
Here's the thing you got to realize. Linear time only exists when you're on a large enough planetary body with enough gravity. So time does exist. Once you're in space, just traveling through space is traveling through time. It is possible. We do it all the time. No, not even the faster we go. Not even the faster we go. Just regular travel. If we were to take the snail mail route through space, it's still traveling through time. because of how technology is. By a technicality, the Galactic Federation is from 300 years in the future. But again, linear time only exists when you're on a planet.
Well, it's localized, yeah.
That's really interesting. That's really never thought about that.
Yeah.
That's why I keep saying time is a fluid. It's water. It's not until you get to rocks and stuff that it starts bending into a certain way.
So is there anywhere in the universe where time doesn't exist?
Yeah, absolutely. I think after you get 6 density, there's no time. Everything's outside of time then. Time is localized, and I think it's 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And after that, it runs at different rates.
Mm-hmm.
I know in 4th and then in 5th. And as far as I know, after that, it's outside of time. But then again, if you look, your soul exists outside of time anyway.
That's right, because
your soul completely exists outside of time. So you were talking about these bodies and who made them. Was it the ET made? Didn't make your soul. Your soul is source.
The soul goes back to source. That's what it does.
And
you get reincarnations.
Absolutely timeless. You know.
You don't know how many times you've been reincarnated here. This could be your 559th time. Get what I mean? It's obviously you'll know until you die, but then you'll not be able to tell anybody because you'll be dead, because you'll be up there. But when you come back again, you'll forget.
Well, not necessarily.
Well, no necessarily.
Not necessarily.
You remember a wee bit of stuff, because I can remember stuff, which is odd. But who knows who I was? Who knows who Dakota was? Obviously, right.
The soul is down, right? As far as I know, and my understanding is, if you're outside of a soul trap system, you retain your memories. Now you'll still be a couple of years as an adolescent learning your body and all that crap, but you'll know who you were and you'll retain your memories. In other systems, that's how it works, as far as I know. So
how do you escape the soul trap?
Soul trap is down at the moment. It was running from Saturn to the moon and relayed from Saturn to the moon, relayed to the moon, and then to Earth. So it's down. As far as I know, that equipment is down. Some people might, from their belief, go somewhere else or whatever, or might get caught out. But if you're aware that that's down, well, then it's just like, you're not going to get caught in it, you know. As far as I know now, I mean, you might have to touch on this with somebody else who's a bit better.
We'll need to do an experiment, Dakota. You ever been to Yellowstone?
Oh, I should have never told you about that. Those of you who don't know, Yellowstone National Park, there's a stretch of land where technically murder is legal just because, it's a jury of peers situation. And it's the part of Yellowstone that's inside
Dakota,
the
come and
Idaho
see this
border.
amazing thing. Look at this cliff. It's so beautiful. See, I stand to the edge.
You got to come up with some new material, man.
I know. I would never do that to you, Dakota. I would never do such a thing. You'd probably do it to me, mind you, but...
Tempting.
I know, it's tempting. I'm a very annoying person sometimes, you know.
Yeah, you wonder why they sent your ass down here.
I know. Like, take me back, please. I can't take it anymore.
Oh, come on. We're only going to get lucky once with that.
I don't care if I'm posted to a remote outpost on Jupiter's moon. I just take me back.
It's not as remote as people think.
No, but it's to think that there's spirits out there that can interact with the other entities of the universe. I mean, it's quite interesting that how there's entities out there for different dimensions that can interact with spirits.
Have you ever tried remote viewing or anything like that?
Stuff. I've experienced stuff, and I've been to the Akasha Records. Well, I think it was. I've been to a strange planet, a purple planet, where I keep bumping into his relations. And that's the first time we met, and we met at, who was it we met? Lisa, it was Lisa Fry. And then it was Elena. And I started having these weird dreams about this little girl, and then I told Dakota about it, and then he showed me a picture, and that was the little girl that I seen. And it's always, I always used to get taken to this place, always like a purple sky, and it had right rocky It was weird. I don't know where it was, Titan or something like that. I felt like it was somewhere in this system. It was weird.
Purple sky. I remember Tony Rodriguez and somebody else that was on Mars saying that the sunset on Mars is purple. So if it was a red base to it, it may have been Mars. But it could be everywhere. How many planets is there? You know.
It was like a rocky. You ever been to a beach and you've seen the rocks on the beach where they blend in with the sand? That's what it was like. But it was every time I went there, it was dark but purple skies. And obviously I was sleeping because I did it when I went to my bed and stuff like that. And I've seen some crazy stuff. I've seen some really weird things that I could never really explain. Like the diamond-shaped thing that went anti-clockwise, and it was like a big... It wasn't really diamond-shaped. It was more of like a big crystal that just went all anti-clockwise, and I've also experienced other things too. They've showed me things, but that's kind of personal, to be purely honest with you. Dakota knows about that. I don't really like getting into that kind of side of things because it was just weird. Really weird. If you want to ken about it, Dots, when you talk to Dakota, Dakota will tell you about it, but I don't really want to talk about it in here.
Chris, we actually just had another confirmation come in.
What?
Remember Damocles?
Ken, I was thinking about her tonight. That's weird you said that.
Well, do you remember what she said when she told us about that screen memory after the show?
Oh my God, you're asking me. My brain's melted,
No, just come on. Come on.
You're not that remember. Old. I'm nearly 42. Come on. I've had a migraine all day. Just tell us what it was.
She found the dress.
Really?
She found photos of the dress she was in that night.
That's interesting, that.
And it lines up perfectly with what I told her happened.
See, that's quite strange, that. See, this is what the Dots that I kind of broke away from the UFO subject for a wee while because it was getting intense. And I couldn't feel myself. See, if I get into it, I can feel myself getting drawn into this. Again, I can feel, don't do that, Dakota. Do not play the tones and do not do that weird stare. I feel weird, right? I do feel weird right the night. I've had enough of migraine, and that's usually a sign. I always get it. And I've always managed to ground myself. I've got a crystal over there that I've used it to ground myself with. And it was quite interesting because there was people in my village came back to me. Came what I found weird. Remember I told you about how I remembered my birth?
Mm-hmm.
And what was her name that we had on the show? She had the exact same experience.
Danny, yeah.
Yeah. She had the exact same experience.
It was enough to where I was starting to wonder if you two were born in the same hospital.
But that's the weird thing. I mean, that is the weird thing. I can remember that so clearly. And it makes me wonder who were the beings behind me waving at me. See if I get into this, I can feel myself getting drawn into this again. See if I'll end up having a weird dream tonight or something like that. I can feel it. And as if I just don't want to go down this route again. It's weird. Do you understand, Dots? Do you ever do like the remote viewing?
Do I ever what? Sorry, do remote viewing?
Do you ever do remote viewing? And
oh
stuff
yeah,
like that?
Yeah. I've done remote viewing before. I had a personal experience with it. I'll explain this a bit better. One of the targets, it was a practice target, and unbeknownst, I was blind to it. And when I jumped to the target, I went straight to something that I was interested in, and hadn't a clue what I was looking at effectively. And I realized how powerful it was. The target was Niagara Falls. Now, I should have been able to see Niagara Falls and draw it and all that crack. But as soon as I wrote the number down, I jumped into something and started to draw it. And it was, for the word of it, I'll tell you what it was rather than just explain what I drew. It was the wheelhouse of a ship I was drawing. And it was wet and it was cold. And I wrote a few descriptive words, windows all around, blah, 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 blah. But I hadn't a clue where it was. And then when it came at the end of the practice, they revealed the target, and the target was Niagara Falls, and I instantly knew what happened. I'd seen a movie in the 80s with a ship called The Lady in the Mist in Niagara Falls. And I said, if I'm ever in Niagara Falls, I want to go on that ship. So as soon as the target was given to me, I shot into the wheelhouse of the ship. And I didn't get any of the rest of the target because it was right in the middle of the mist, in the middle of Niagara. So that's all I drew. I was so on target, I couldn't even figure out where it was. So it's, yeah, I've had a number of other ones. The Betty Barney Hill abduction, I remote viewed, drew a little picture of it and all that. A rover on Mars, I remote viewed. And then the American Civil War, which I didn't get. I didn't get it. So I had 3 hits out of 4 on one target practice. But it was the Niagara Falls thing that got me. I was like, whoa. I understood what happened. But I was like, that's powerful. My brain just went straight to what I was interested in and ignored everything else, you know. So absolutely works. Absolutely works.
It does.
You got the twins playing. I've just messaged you on Facebook, Dakota. You got the twins playing. You sure?
The only thing going on my end is that fan in the background.
That's I've been doing the rabbit hole now. I can hear it. I can hear it. It's making me feel weird. I can feel it.
Your migraines may just be a muscle response. You're not using your brain.
Maybe
forced to use
but
your brain.
Maybe it scares me a wee bit, actually, to be purely honest with you. Because why?
It's going to be scary.
But why did they want me? That's the simple fact. Why did they want me?
Look at the draw, I feel like some days.
I know. I mean, why don't pick somebody else? Yeah, I mean.
Hey,
I can hear it. It's quite strong, by the way. I can hear it now. It feels like
you're
it's,
the
you know,
one that
static
keeps
and
saying that none of this really started kicking off until you met me.
None of it.
There's a lot of people that say that, actually.
It didn't really start kicking off until I met you, to be purely honest with you. But it's quite strong. I can feel it. There's something going to happen tonight. Something's going to happen to Banniers. I can feel. I'm just taking my gloves off there, but I can just. I don't know. I feel weird as fuck because I've not been practicing it for a while. But I can how to ground myself. I'll just ground myself after the live. I'll just ground myself.
So
I've got a crystal
that's what
thing
you call it now, huh?
Well, you know, letting out some secrets there, you know, letting out some secrets. So what we're discussing tomorrow night, same subject?
Yeah, I think we go into it a little further, maybe update if we have anything happen tonight after we go off air.
I'm going to wrap tomorrow night. I'm going to wrap my head in tinfoil.
I've been wanting to do that for a show. I think that might be good.
I'm going to do that tomorrow night. I'll need to see if I can get some tinfoil.
You look like a big tinfoil nipple.
Dots, are you joining us tomorrow night?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, right. Yeah, it should be cool. Yeah.
All right.
So, we'll catch everybody in the chat. We've nearly been going for 2 hours now, so we'll see you all tomorrow night. And if I get abducted by aliens, I'll say goodbye now. And Dots is Dakota's new co-host.
Of course, they might just take him away. Much love, y'all. Stay safe, and if something happens to you after watching this show, let us know. And
may not be able to tell us because they might be away somewhere.
And we'll just say this: we can't afford the therapy bills forever.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe anywhere you see Bald and Bonkers for even more insanity. Be sure to spread the love to the Bald and Bonkers boys' other endeavors. And a special thank you to our audience, guests, and everyone else who helps make this crazy ride happen. Amazing things are ahead. Learn more by visiting www.baldandbonkers.net. See you next time. Much love and take care.
Experience of.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. From the deepest jungles to the outmost reaches of space and beyond the veils of death itself, the Bald and Bonkers boys are back for another episode. It's no secret that you won't know what will happen next, but Dakota Franson and Chris Moore promise that all bets are off. Viewer discretion and straitjackets advised. These two idiots live up to the name.
Okay, there's a weird lag going on when it comes to the intros.
Somebody tell me that they're having problems too with us. Everybody do their cameras, make them go blank, and then hang with them out and it goes quicker. You notice that it wasn't as bad that time?
Yeah, it was! What are you talking about? It went through the full fucking thing before it actually showed it on
It
here.
never lagged once for me. It never lagged once for me. With my camera.
Oh, shove it up your ass, Christopher.
It's the aliens! Take me! Oh, for fuck's sake, they're not coming for me tonight. They must have ran out of petrol or something.
Oh, yeah, everybody seemed to love you getting kicked out last night.
What?
Everyone loved seeing you get kicked out last night.
Yeah, that was fun.
Well, what the alien... Honestly, I'm drumming and pain in the arses. That's what he's at. Aye, you heard me. Well, I'm okay.
Piss off the Andromedans, man.
It's them. I blame them. The Galactic Federation are fine. It's the fuckers up there. Fuck them.
Well, this has certainly been an interesting start to the show.
Wait, so ladies and gentlemen, if I get vaporized shortly for being a dick towards the Andromedans, just remember this. Dots here is the new takes over after me, and Dots, one day you'll be evaporated like me too.
I told you I don't want to.
Why are they leaving me? Like, get me the fuck out of here! My God,
they're keeping you for a slave. They're going to do terrible things to you.
I'm married, so that already counts.
But you're no, no, you're not married on this plane of existence. You're not married on this plane of existence.
They're coming down to this plane of existence. Why do you think we have 3 children together?
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I kind of Lena says about this and says it's absolutely fine to date and have kids up there. But what was right, hypothetically, you meet somebody here, right? You have kids here, and then they come down. Does that mean that you've got 2 wives on Earth?
That depends, because is the person I hook up with just a fractal of my wife up there? Because that's also a thing.
That's very true.
So does that count as? Does that count still as bigamy or what?
But that's what I'm saying. But there's in some states in the United States, it's true, innit? You can have like 6 wives and all that kind of thing. So you'll just need to move to one of these states. You'll be fine.
I'm not going to Utah.
I notice the chat's not working very good tonight. The chats are not working when any of the ladies speaking whatsoever.
I know. It's like, what? Did we scare people off already?
It's
okay.
This
is fine.
Whatsoever. What?
No.
There's no chat working whatsoever. Aye, there's dots in there. Aye. Ooh, yep. They're coming for your dots. I've got to take you away now. That's it. Okay. You're going to wake up in the room with despair.
Of course, Chris, you just had to bring up the 97 alien interview video just before we go on, and now things are acting way out of whack.
Well, I think that it looks pretty interesting. That I'm not an alien expert, and obviously there's a lot of it that's been dubbed. What I mean is it's quiet, right? But it does look kind of mysterious and that. And I noticed a lot of people on TikTok, I'm going to say the word, and YouTube, if anybody shows that video, they get nothing, they get problems, nothing but problems. Yes, I may have just fucked tonight's live, but it just shows you it's my fault again.
Well, allegedly they're going to be talking about that tape when they do the congressional hearing this week.
See, that's the thing. I felt awfully sorry for that wee fella. Did you know? I ken he was a grey, right? I ken that. But maybe he was one of the nice greys, because I ken they're not all bad. And I felt sorry for him because they were going up to him and poking him and all that kind of stuff. How would you like it if they would crash your spaceship, they come out, grabbed you, and then taken you into a mad bunker somewhere below the earth, then made you answer stupid questions? Get what I mean? I felt sorry for that entity. I did feel it was scared. It was obviously scared. Get what I mean?
It was.
What's that in the chat?
You tell it was having some sort of issues going on.
Yeah. It was. I mean, I'm amazed. that alien races have made it really pissed off here. And
Your mic is gone again.
Yeah, his mic's going.
Yeah, you got muffled there.
That's literally all it came across as.
Yeah.
what the fuck is going on? It never happens during my Ghost Squad Scotland lives, this.
Maybe because you actually have legitimate people who know you're talking about when you're on with me.
No, but I honestly think the government do not like me.
Yeah, it doesn't take
What's
much.
What's not like with me? What's not like with me? I mean, it's terrible. Why can you not go and abduct Dots here? I mean, look at this fine specimen down here. He wants to see the inside your spaceship tonight.
Yeah, this Bruce Springsteen lookalike motherfucker.
Aye, you deal with Bruce Springsteen. Oh my god, I'm going for now on. I'm just going to call you Bruce Springsteen. You deal with Bruce Springsteen.
That's it. I'm sticking the guitar in the background on the next one.
I'm not saying that as a tease. Yeah, I mean, the first thing I thought was like, what? Has some neon. Oh,
There's what's that? It's like Grandmaster UV. Cheers to MI6 and Nick Pope. Old Nick Popey. Look, they're just disinformation agents. I wouldn't worry about them.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to tell who's who some of these days. I mean, seriously, with this clip, I've even gone through and enhanced it.
Look at the wee fella. You'd want to take him home with you, wouldn't you, and have him as a roommate?
Oh, maybe not. So, what for the people listening on the podcast side of ours, we're actually showing a clip from the 1997 Alien interview that is actually supposed to be shown to U.S. Congress later this week. You know, a lot of people speculated this thing was staged. It was one hell of a puppet master at work, but now they're taking into consideration that this thing may be real and it's a legitimate specimen that has some sort of medical emergency. Even the individual they have do the voiceover most of the time for it says that the facility some say it's S2, some say it's S4, all part of Area 51.
Yeah.
That their medical staff is more kept for their ability to keep secrets, not whether or not they're actually good at their jobs.
Okay. What I'm getting, right, and this is honest truth, I'm getting for that pair wee thing. I ken some greys are bad, right? Just they're bad. Some of them are not. And I'm getting that he's extremely a he or she or whatever it is because they don't have any organs, didn't they? No, they don't have any. They're neither female or male. Did this one have that? Right. I know that they've got certain, there's different chromosomes and stuff like that because humans are different. But I'm getting that he's off a. Is it a he or a she? Do you know?
It doesn't necessarily follow that. Humans, they have 2 sexual chromosomes when it comes to their biology. This thing only had 1.
Yeah.
And you can obviously, by this point in the clip, this thing is struggling.
You can see it. Look, it's a son. That I mean, the pair wee fella. What happened to it? Eventually, did it die?
I believe
Do we
this
know?
one did, actually. Because they managed to completely eradicate microbial life on their own planet. So the whole analogy you hear of, what alien invasion wouldn't last long because it would be like Columbus with the Native Americans. They would bring over diseases that they weren't used to. They could try to contain it as much as they can, but exposure like this is possible. And right now, where it's wiping its lip, they're looking for hemorrhaging around the eyes. They're looking like they're essentially trying to see if this thing was poisoned or not, the way they're examining it. So.
It's kind of like the War of the World scenario. The aliens come and the bugs and the humans, obviously the humans are used to, kills them off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean, but it's you ever watched? I'm old. This is showing my age. Don't show Ken this. The X-Files. You ever watched the X-Files? Remember the X-Files movie? They did a movie where the aliens, they couldn't come here because there was it was in our air. It was what you call it. There was bugs in our air that would kill them.
Yeah.
Kind of scenario. I just feel so sorry for that wee creature. I just. But then again, it makes you wonder what they've done to us.
Well, there's a lot of the greys are biological life forms that are programmable. They have a fraction of a soul, but they don't really have a soul. That's not to say they're not alive, but they're used on both sides as hardware, like biological robots. I don't know if that was one of them or not, but the biological robots would be a different category, because you can use them. You could program it to do a job for you, It's just a programmable life form. Some of them are.
See, it's. I don't know. I just feel so sorry for that. Maybe it's just me. I do feel sorry for a lot of life forms and stuff like that because I like dogs and cats and animals and nature. It's maybe just me picking up something. It's just me picking up that is in a lot of pain and stuff.
I don't know. It's just, you watch its eyes. You can almost feel like it's trying to call for help.
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah. There's well, humans are compassionate. We'll see that anyway. Well, I do. I don't know. I'm like you, Chris. I don't like seeing any animal getting hurt at all. But I mean, it depends.
I know what you're saying about how it being slightly like an android kind of like thing, but it's still. Do you think there'll come a time when they're all freed? Right, say for instance, you take a group of them, right? Say you take like 500,000 of these and freed them to like the main hive, and let them live out their existence. Do you think they would ever become fully aware, like us?
The Orion
Zone. Right now, a lot of them.
Yeah, the Orion Zone has been liberated at the moment. I think it is liberated. They're just trying to. They're forming their own local hives now because the Orion Queen that ran them all, she took over all hives that were in that area and ran them one way. When she went down, they brought them back into local ones, and they're trying to, they were under control as well, so they're effectively liberated, So, yeah,
it's quite intense, that video. It's really intense, that video. Actually, I can feel. It was like silent screams with its eyes. I mean, our government, the governments of this world that's done all these things and kept all this technology. I'm sorry if you're fucking listening to this now. These are a bunch of dicks. But then again, obviously the evil aliens that have came here and done things. Can you imagine what they've done to humans?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've heard stories about underground bases where aliens take people and they never come out again, and
there's big footage of stuff like that. I've seen again some of the remote viewing drones, and even the drones are disturbing. You're like, what the hell? People hanging from and being drained and all sorts of weird crack.
Aye.
I really wouldn't want to see the real footage of any of that. The drones were disturbing enough. So I'm pretty fucking sure that shit goes on. Or did. I'm sure
Who's
it's
that in the Who's that in the
Who's in
chat?
the
Sorry for interrupting. Who's that in the chat there? I'm sorry for interrupting you, Dots. There, it's a Grandmaster. Are you guys from MI6? No, we're actually from the Men in Black. We're secretly infiltrated the UFO community so as we can bright light the subject. That's it. Everybody's going to hang me for
What?
that.
What? Is it the funny accents? Well, I don't get it.
The name is Bond. James.
I don't know.
Licensed to look for aliens.
I think there would be a slightly more professional
He's
setup.
Dr. Evil, by the way.
yeah. Yeah.
God. I'm sorry. We just had someone in the chat and they're just, I don't know. Just because people have funny accents doesn't mean they're MI6. This one would be a lot more interesting.
Look, MI6. Look, I'll tell you fucking something right there. I would not make a very good MI6 agent because I would probably tell all the secrets as soon as I was telling them. I'd be like,
you'd be fine. You'd be fine. Nobody'd understand it.
But look at this file. I found it in UFOs. Look at this. Look at this. Sending it to folk and stuff like that. You know, that kind of stuff. Oh my God, it's going to be one of these nights. We've got 10 people watching us, but only one person talking. The chat's only working for YouTube for some weird, unknown reason. Why is there nobody on the Facebook side watching us? That was probably me. I'll admit that. I probably mentioned what I mentioned, which I shouldn't have mentioned. But I've mentioned it. It's as if I've got a time machine. I can't go back and change it. You know, that's that.
What part?
It's just one of the. What part? What do you mean? What I mentioned? What did I mention at the start? What was I talking about before we went live? Just before we went live.
I don't think you want me to say that. Otherwise, your ass is going to be in trouble.
No, you came up. I'm talking about the alien aspect thing. What was that? And then my mic went funny.
Yeah, about the Andromedans.
The Andromedans. Everybody loves the Andromedans. What's wrong with the Andromedans? They're lovely people.
Well, you were telling them to fuck off.
Because
they get kind of annoyed. They get slightly annoyed at that type of thing.
I don't particularly.
Some of them have a sense of humor. Don't get me wrong. But,
I don't particularly care. You know, I don't know why I'm looking up because they're probably ordering about us anyway. Probably watching this show.
We're just gonna drill into this guy's head later on.
It's what's that? I'll show that there. Look, the Andromedans, right? They're not as nice as the Federation. I'll say that. No, they're no. He's terrible working conditions. Actually,
Galactic Federation of Worlds is more of a civilian-based operation.
Aye, and
they work directly with the people they're more military.
Facebook.
Whoever Facebook user is.
Remember, hey, Facebook user, we only know
Chris,
you as
which one of your
Facebook user.
girlfriends is that?
Don't.
I'm joking. I'm joking. He has no game, so.
For fuck's sake. It's honestly, there's nobody speaking on Facebook except for one person, and then when somebody says something, it says, "Hey guys, we don't know who you are," because it says Facebook users. There's 7 billion people use Facebook, so it's got to take me a while to narrow down. So please put in the chat who you are.
Yeah, they're gonna write Facebook user. You know that, don't you?
See, do you know who that is? That's the MI6. They're coming for you, Dots.
Yeah.
That's it. It's all over. That's it. You're going to wake up in the night with the helicopter going out of your house.
Well, I do think I see a laser pointer coming out of Dot's window right there.
You don't have your friend with you anyway. I must admit your friends. You don't have your friend with you tonight, which is unusual. You don't have your friend with you.
Though I got to admit, just a second ago, that looked like there were some weird lights just above the tree line right there.
Behind?
Yeah.
When you mentioned that, I thought I seen something just here.
Yeah, we're going to have to look back, because I thought I just saw something flying by right there.
They're coming for you, Dots. The Andromedan says, what's that? Oh, they've got the special room ready for you.
Preparing the chains and whips.
Oh, what's it? It's Drew. Oh, it's my brother. Ladies
No,
and
it's
gentlemen.
Indrina.
Oh, it's Indrina.
I just looked on Facebook.
I thought it was Drew.
See, this is another
there's
thing.
loads of Drews.
You say it's Drew. There's at least 5 different Drews he messes around with.
It's. I'm telling you, it's because I mentioned the Andromedans, and I'm been told not to mention the Andromedans, and I will not mention the Andromedans. So, the other question for you.
You were MI6.
I've got license. I can't do. I can't do the James Bond one tonight. Fuck it. Anyway, technology. What technology do you think will be released? So people were asking me after the show last night. They were saying, "Oh, what kind of types of technology do you think is going to be released?" So come on, guys, tell us about the technology because people want to know.
Released to the public.
Aye.
Well, first of all, the med beds and the stuff that the army developed up and the military developed up and the corporations, weapon industry, they developed up an awful lot of stuff 70 odd years ago that we can instantly use it, you know. After that, there's other stuff coming in, you know. I mean, there's holographic technology, you know, that's incorporated into some of the med beds as well. There'll be crystal stuff, you know. There's a couple of different ways of driving chips, a few different ways, you know. Even portal drive, you know, anti-gravity drive, electrogravitic. I think there's 6. I'm not pulling the book out now. I think there's 6 basic different types, and just like cars here, with diesel, petrol, electric, you're gonna have all different types, but they'll be similar looking, you know. So there's a lot.
I'm just got to say, there's Ghost Squad Scotland, where we're going through. She's told me not to mention the Andromedans, so I will not mention the Andromedans again. Wow.
There's a lot of technology that'll be coming out.
Oh, yeah.
And as it comes out, we're smart, because as it comes out, somebody will figure out another, we can add this to it, we can add this to it. We make things better. We always do. See, not saying we're any smarter, but we might think slightly different and use for a different application. So, I mean, the future's bright when this happens, you know.
Do you think there'll be more advances in artificial intelligence with the technology that's coming out? Which I think is a bad idea. Artificial intelligence is a bad idea. I think that's just a bad idea.
It almost has to be slave master, as in that it can only take, command decisions can only be made by a person. And other decisions, you know, just normal maintenance and stuff like that can be done. But there has to be a structure like that where it cannot cross a line. You know, I wouldn't like to be working on it, but I can see it going that way, you know. Just have to be careful with it. Like anything, you can build a bridge with a hammer, you can break bone. It's the intention behind it. You just have to be careful with it, you know, make sure it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. Exactly. Everything can be turned into a weapon. Absolutely everything can be turned into a weapon. Sunlight, you know, concentrated can burn you, but you need sunlight to live. Anything can be turned into a weapon.
Mm-hmm. See, that's the only thing I worry about is, right, say they release all this technology to the public. There's going to be somebody out there, some billionaire out there, some guy that likes making weapons of mass destruction, and he's going to get his hands on it. And he's going to use it to make weapons. He is going to use it to make weapons. It's going to happen.
I don't think so. I'm not. You're not. First of all, you're not going to have some billionaire that has the power over everyone else. You're not going to just have that. And somebody will stand out, and everyone's going to be watching everyone's back. And if somebody starts fucking around like that, everyone's going to put a stop to it. We've seen how out of hand shit can get, and we're not going to let it happen again. We're just not going to let it happen again. So it's a concern, but I'm not that concerned about it because everyone's going to be watching each other's back. We cannot let this shit happen again.
Absolutely. There's just shit that's going on these days where we're trying to nitpick at every little thing to get pissed off.
Yeah.
That shit's got to stop.
Yeah,
the world needs to change. The world needs to
there's
change.
plenty of things plenty of good things to pursue rather than picking out everything to moan about. I concentrate on the good stuff and just tell you, what about this? What about that? And I'm not worried about any of that. I'm worried about this problem. I'm taking care of that problem. And I concentrate on the good side of it rather than the bad side of it. And it makes it a hell of a lot easier. You get spun up saying, oh, I'll be worried about that. You're not going to be able to sleep. You'll wake up the next morning. It'll be the same thing. You know? Like people worrying about an asteroid strike. What the fuck are you going to do about it if an asteroid comes in? Don't worry about it. It's out of your hands. You know?
Aye.
If it's out of your hands, don't worry about it. If it's a direct threat, of course, address it. But I wouldn't go chasing up every, what if this happens? What if that happens? I'd be like, well, look, if I do this, then none of that is going to happen. So I'm doing this, you know?
See, on Firehorse, yes, look at the good. But here's a question for Bethy, right? We know this does get revealed and our little friends are revealed, right? How long do you think it'll take before, how can I say, like obviously civilization will break down slightly. Some governments will fall because they've been lying to the public, because they'll have been lying to the public, been lying to us for years. Jesus. And how long do you think before everything gets back up? Because obviously there's going to be power cuts. Everybody knows that. The financial system is going to crash. Everything's got to go down. I was talking to somebody about this, and they reckon about 3 to 4 weeks madness on the streets after this all comes out.
It could be. I'm pretty sure that everything is running in the background on reserve anyway. That's how these operations work. It's like when something crashes, they swap straight away to the reserve if it's up and running. And I think everything it's the intel says that they're all working behind the scenes. It's doing well. So I'm just going to sort of leave that to them.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because they've already got ahead of it. You know, they've already got ahead of it.
There's a few governments that have already fallen mysteriously. It went all quiet, and you're not hearing nothing from them. Let's look at France, for instance. The French government. That African community, France, is just like blacked out. Basically, it's like, nobody's hearing anything. It's like, what's going on? And you hear stories about the white hats and stuff like that, which obviously are working for the good and stuff like that. So it makes you wonder.
But again, getting intel on an active operation is nearly impossible, because even when you hear it,
it's like
right,
I don't want to tell him then because
tell us that. So you have to take everything with a pinch of salt and just hope that they know what they're doing, and they do know what they're doing. You know,
I will say this. I do say the US presidency. I do think he might be the last president, the one that's in office right now. I do definitely think he was the last one. Is after it, obviously, everybody will come together.
There's a book from the 1900s. There's a book from the 1900s, and it's The Last President, and it's the adventures of, what's his son's name, Baron Trump, I think. And that's from the 1905 or 6. It's very, very weird. I didn't read it, but I read an overview on it, and it's very, very weird. Interesting, though.
The picture on the front of the book actually fucking looks like Baron Trump, too.
It's just very odd. Very odd.
What's that, Grandmaster? I learned from Dr. Greer himself how to summon aliens. He used to summon them for the French government and Lawrence Rockefeller. See, they're an interesting group, the Rockefellers, aren't they? I mean, the Bilderbergs and all that. I wonder what will happen to them when all this comes out. I mean, I wonder what will happen to them. These people that are running.
We already know about CE5.
Aye, we know about that. But it's I wonder what will happen to, because I'm mentioning stuff here. I think this is more than the Andromedans, but mentioning the Rockefellers and we're mentioning the people that run the world. What do you think will happen to them? Do you think they'll just be all rounded up and jailed?
Some of them have crossed the line, but they're not going to be jailed.
Just get all their money.
No. They'll be put to an end. They absolutely will. They probably deserve it as well. I don't think they've crossed the line a bit too much. They've also fucked around with technology that shouldn't have been theirs. So it's in the realm of upstairs where they can take care of it as well. I'm not actually sure of that, but I do know they'd access to shit like that. You people that have been creeping around a bit too long, so they've definitely been messing with the aging technology. You know, they're still throwing around names that should have died a few years ago in the, you know, in the corners. You hear Curtis LeMay and stuff like that. But Curtis LeMay, the aircraft general, he should be dead. He'd be like 140, but his name still floats around a bit. So anybody that's been messing around with any of that stuff, they'll be taken care of. I don't think it'll be prison. I don't think it'll be prison.
Iron Firehorse in the chat. Who is Dr. Gear? My God. Do you know Ken who that is? In the name of all that is holy. Dakota, why don't you explain to him or she who Dr. Gear is?
I was about to say, Flowers, you've been watching us a while. You've heard us talk about Dr. Stephen Greer for quite some time. Like, come on, man. Tina! There's the Disco Tina there, Dots.
Hey, Tina.
Disco Tina.
She's alive.
Disco time. I remember disco. That's a long time ago. Before your time, Dakota.
Yeah, sure, your age even more.
Really? Discos, you know. You'll be doing one of them at the event. There's a disco at the event you're going to, isn't that right there, Dakota?
Again, I think someone's jealous that I'm getting attention from all of these beautiful women.
I know. They are beautiful women, I must admit.
Someone's jealous. They might get you in trouble there, man. Careful.
That's fine.
Anyway. What the fuck were we talking about?
You were talking about Dr. Stephen Greer.
Oh, yeah.
Who was Dr. Stephen Greer? Look, he's one of the most renowned UFO disclosure people on the planet. My God, I actually thought he was an alien at one point, to be purely honest with you.
Probably is. He is a bit funny looking.
He is, isn't he? I'm sorry if you're watching this, Dr. Stephen Greer, but I definitely think you're an alien. Or he's just as intelligent as you know them.
You know, another pattern I've honestly noticed around people that are really getting involved in the disclosure movement is that, and you know, when the Galactic Dudes video dropped on Danny's channel, Aaron brought it up as well of his own experience. That a lot of us that go into this came to it because we're going to get on the slightly dark side of this. A lot of us that came into it because that was the only explanation for something that may have saved our lives. You ever notice that? Even Dr. Greer said it at one point in one of his documentaries that it was a suicide attempt that brought his attention to this initially.
I will say...
we tried to make it an open panel, but none of y'all answered the message. He did.
I noticed the chat's starting to open up now. I noticed the chat's starting to open up now, and a lot more people coming in because I've no mentioned the Andromedans.
Said it again, Neil.
To watch them all just disappear.
What's that? Quilla Whisper. I'll just call you Whisper. It makes life easier.
Kaiju.
You doing amazing. Hold strong. I will say that. See that show that Danny put up, the one with the guy that was from Mars. He was a soldier, and then they brought him back and wiped his memories and stuff like that. I'll tell you something new. I watched that, and that was absolutely amazing. I shared that with about 20 folk, and I think it's made it to like 500 different folk who are on about me. Folk that I know, and they're like, my God, that was amazing. That was.
Tony knows his
shit.
They've
got the technology to do that, isn't it? They've got the technology.
Tony's story is pretty cool. I remember Tony, I caught him on Dauntless Dialogue or something in 2015, 16 maybe. Him and a couple of other people, Randy Kramer, what have you. But Tony's story stuck with me because it was so... It hit a couple of different... not agencies, different projects, and I was like, hold on, what's this? It's not an army thing specifically. You started out with the drug trade, and then it went into a couple of different areas, and it always stuck with me. And when his book came out, I think I had it within a day or two. The ink was probably still wet when I got it. The book. I flew through the book. I thought it was amazing, heartbreaking in some places and horrible, but a complete triumph, an absolute triumph for him to get through it and talk about it. And then the second book, I haven't got, but I knew from watching all the interviews that there was a piece missing. When I read the book, I went, there's a piece missing here, And then he said he was coming out with the second book, but I had to get that yet. But an amazing story, lifetime.
I'll need to get his book too, because I found that story. I found it absolutely amazing. I actually watched it twice. I watched that, the whole video, and then I listened to it one day when I was out a walk, and I thought to myself, that is absolutely amazing, because they can recall what happened to him that good. And it just shows you the technology that's there, that they can do that to you after you get to a certain age.
Yeah. You can recall memory, all right. You can probably do it without technology if, I don't want to be telling anyone that in case they go and try it themselves and do something. So I don't recommend anyone try, retrieving memories without an expert, or at least expert supervision or guidance. So sorry for mentioning it, just to be responsible,
It's not as if you were mentioning Andromedon, so it'll be fine.
You're going to go missing for a whole 10 hours now again.
I'm going to have to start doing the show by myself so we can actually focus on a damn topic and maybe have people understand what's being said.
Hey, Danny thought I was... I didn't realise she was Scottish. I didn't realise she was Scottish until she started talking with a Glaswegian accent.
Right. It's going to be interesting when we go on with her soon. Hey, you saw me with Lena. I was a deer in headlights when we met.
I will say that. I will say she had the same experience as I did for my birth, because I can remember it. Except hers is more vivid than mine. And that was weird. That was. I've never seen that look in Dakota's face again when she started telling that story, because obviously I told you that years ago. And it's just so weird. Why is there hardly any speaking on YouTube? There's 11 people watching. There's only 2 people speaking. Who are the workers?
They're just so fascinated.
A couple of them will probably be like MI5 and MI6 and stuff like that. What's that watching? Right. Chopper one. We're over Dot's house.
I was just watching this little spotlight just pops in through his window.
Ken, this is weird. This is the clouds out the night out of that tree line at the back of your house. Dots.
That's you're sort of looking northwest is that way. The sun will be going there, so there's a bit of brightness left over there.
I don't know if it was a plane or that, because I could see a wee twinkle.
Yeah, that'd be in the direction of the flight plan. Yeah, the plane's coming around that direction there.
Was that I'm shadow banned, so to me it looks like I'm the only one watching you. That's weird, Dana. How's that?
Yeah. That depends. We are streaming to more than one YouTube platform, so.
See, that's the thing. We're going to a few, because you started the new channel, didn't you? You started the new.
It's not letting me do fucking lives on it, Chris.
Do you want me to see if I can create one, and then it'll let me do lives on it, and then I'll send it out to you?
What's the fucking point, man?
I suppose
we're spreading too much around, making shit a lot more.
What's the message? It was deleted by Bonkers LLC.
What?
It says, message deleted by Bonkers Network LLC. View deleted message. And worked with the Tesla, NASA. Aye. It was Grandmaster UV. That wasn't us, by the way. Just telling you that, Grandmaster. We didn't delete it. We didn't. It said Grandmaster UV and work with Dodd and Tesla, NASA, everyone, and anyone that wants to join in. And then somebody.
Yeah.
I seen it drop out of the chat, all right. I seen something
Aye,
drop
because
out.
I'm signed in as my Ghost Squad Scotland, but I'm a moderator in the chat for Ghost Squad for Bald and Bonkers, and I noticed it just went. It was hidden by the LCLC. So the only other person that had access to that was Dakota. Which is odd. Very odd. Very strange. It wasn't you, Iron Fire Horse. It told me who it was. It was Bald and
The
Bonkers
account
LLC that did it.
Rates it as the main account.
Interesting.
Put Grandmaster, put in the chat what you put again, please. Just put it in again. Just type it back in. That's strange, that.
Let's see. We'll see.
I think there's some funkiness going on tonight. No, that you put like a wee picture of a magnet and what do you call it, a lightning bolt and a UFO. I can show that. See, I've just showed it for him. See, there's a lot of weird shit going on. We are getting so. What's the word I'm looking for? Blocked that I monitored. You would not imagine. That's just weird.
Yeah, it's the topic, you always tend to get interference when you're on topics like this.
Hey, Maggie. I mean, honestly, I don't know why they're doing this. Obviously, it's because of the UFO subject and that. And eventually, they're going to have to answer for all of this because they're going against like freedom of speech and stuff like that.
Aye.
Mm-hmm. What's happening? Drew's abandoned. Grandmaster was put a message in the chat, and Bald and Bonkers LLC blocked the chat, but it wasn't me and it wasn't Dakota, and there's nobody else got access to Bald and Bonkers LLC except for me and Dakota. But I'm signed in Ghost Squad Scotland. See, got a smelly face. I'm signed in as Ghost Squad Scotland there.
Yeah,
but I'm just a moderator because I've got a wee spanner next to it.
Yeah, see it
and I
too.
noticed that. I tried to reverse it, but it wouldn't let me.
I seen it drop out of the chat. I seen it drop all right, yeah.
Right. They're watching us.
Of course. And I haven't even gotten to the good part yet.
It's happened again. Grandmaster UV was hidden by Bald and Bonkers Network LLC.
The fuck?
You can see I'm signed in as Ghost Squad Scotland at the bottom, and it says hidden.
Okay, that can't happen.
That can't happen.
That can only happen if somebody's in your system. Your mail
Grandmaster, by the way, that's
your mail smoothing or anything?
No, this one's disabled because I've got a new movie one, so I can. That's very weird.
Let's see if I can fix it. I'm going in right now to see if I can fix it because this is curious, for lack of a better word.
Why they banning him? He's done nothing wrong. He's just talking away. Really sorry, by the way, Grandmaster.
That is weird. It's not even letting me reverse it.
No, see if because I'm a moderator in there. Do you want me to sign in as Bald and Bonkers LLC? See if it'll let me.
It's not going to do much.
It's not going to do much.
It's not going to do much, Chris.
That's crazy, guy, by the way. Grandmaster was hidden by Bald and Bonkers LLC network. The only person that's signed into that account right now is Dakota. There's nobody else.
It's not letting me fucking reverse it.
Just change the passwords after this. Just change all the passwords.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That-
Just
that's
sign me to it. I don't need to be accessing it anyway. Right, it'll be fine. It shouldn't be doing that. I feel sorry for Grandmaster because it's no us. It's doing it, and it's doing it on the YouTube side of stuff.
Yeah.
Has he been banned completely? Can you speak, Grandmaster? In the chat. Iron Firehorse, it's every time he goes to speak, Bald and Bonkers deletes them, and the automatic thing's no on, so it shouldn't do that.
And no, we haven't even used that thing because it was flagging people for using fucking emojis, not actually flagging the shit we wanted it to.
Aye. I mean, I'm signed into it today, obviously, but I just use Go Squad Scotland to monitor things now and stuff. Because that's the channel I use all the time. See what I mean? This is getting very interesting. Why are the blocking his stuff?
How are they in your system, Dakota?
Not picking up.
He don't
Not
be
seeing
so.
anybody. Huh.
It's Drew's Paranormal Vlog. It's through the Bald and Bonkers YouTube side that it's banning it. There shouldn't be any other way. Maybe for spamming. That's what Iron Horse says, but I don't think so.
Granted, some of his claims were a little questionable, but that's just me being skeptical. You know, trying to promote a little healthy skepticism. Just to avoid BS, but...
Yeah.
Because you need quite a lot in here to piss us off, get what I mean, before we ban you. And I mean, that's just weird.
That is.
It's weird, that.
That's something on YouTube side. Because it's not... It's saying it's... he's unhidden, but it's still fucking hidden.
It says Grandmaster was hidden, right? And all he put was a magnet, a lightning bolt, and a UFO. And then the second one was sweet. He put the word sweet, and then it banned him again. Come on, they don't ban you for talking too much. I talk all the time in Elena's lives and stuff like that. They never ban me. That's just... Oh, there he's back. Grandmaster, I want to come to the UK and seal a real crop circle with the non-crack crop
Those would
waves
be kind of cool
together.
to see.
Love you, UK disclosure team. There's somebody in that chat that doesn't like what we're talking about tonight.
And I haven't even gotten to the good part.
Yep. Come on then. Bring on.
No,
Might as well before we get vaporized or something.
No, Civilian Disclosure Project, that's a chance to actually get the people that have had experiences a chance to sign, not just people who have military insiders, because quite frankly, while yes, that may sound more impressive, that's also leaving out the biggest demographics. So we're going to be setting up interviews and maybe even a book down the line to try to get this out there to hopefully get the conversation going even more. That's the short version of it. I'm working on legal paperwork because it is an official company. I know, makes my eyes cross having to think about it, but make sure everybody's protected on that end.
It's what's it, broomsticks and pentagons. It's the IT robots. It's probably the artificial intelligence that's running YouTube. It's been programmed to... That really annoys me, that when it starts banning folk for no apparent reason. Blocking their messages. Very strange. We've got a couple of lurkers that are not saying nothing.
And which is pretty typical of no matter what, where you go, man. You're going to get lurkers that don't say anything. They're just wanting to sit back and watch the show. They don't really care much about conversation, but...
I tend to do that. I don't spell very well, and I'm not very good at typing. Even with the keyboard, I'm terrible at keyboard.
I am the same. I'm dyslexic.
So I might come in, say hello to a couple of people, and then sort of drop out because I'm trying to answer somebody, I'd have to have an extra phone going and try and find their name. I'm just very, very slow at typing, and I spell terribly. So I tend to keep conversation with the text nice and low. But I get involved if I have to,
Very interesting. It's like, I mean, he wasn't saying that much. It wasn't. It's as if it. I mean, he wasn't saying that he was actually in the Pentagon reading out the files or that. He was just saying random stuff about the CE5 and stuff like that. Get what I mean?
Some could have flagged him for try to say misinformation, because I've noticed that's an option on a few cases for reporting.
Oh, everything's misinformation nowadays.
True.
Oh my god, everything. If you don't agree with the government, you're a misinformationist.
Oh, of course.
Right? If you don't believe in what the government say, you're a misinformationist. Yeah, I mean, it's the same with everything else. If you don't believe what they're putting out, it's a misinformationist. I'm amazed that we haven't turned into a society for like George Orwell, 1984.
We're on the borderline.
We're borderlining it. We really are, because it was quite funny because the UK out here. I don't know, Dutch. Do you get BBC television?
Yeah.
Right. You see the BBC News Channel, News 24 or whatever it's called. They've brought in it's verified reports. It's called verified, right?
Oh Lord!
Right,
oh,
and it's
my
called
God.
verified.
Verified because it's run through the government.
It's verified because it's run through the government. But you might hear something really good. You see the woman that runs the verified section. She was done 2 years ago, for putting out false information.
Yep, lunatics are
it was false information for the government. She was putting it out for the government, but it was proven to be false. And they put her in charge, and it's called verified. And they say, do not. It's madness. It's madness. Yep. It's. I was watching it. It was called verified, and it was like the bombing scene in Ukraine, right? And it says the Russians had done this to a certain part of the building, right? And somebody had taken it and said, "Look at this," and it was somewhere else in the United States. It was a building that had burnt down, and it was the same building. It was the same fucking building. And they'd put it in that and said the Russians had bombed it and killed all the folk.
Yeah, sure.
I just don't know.
Well, didn't the news release fighter pilot footage at the beginning, which was out with 2012 video game? And they said, everybody that's seen it was a 2012 video game. It wasn't even a new one. And everyone that's seen it, for that. I'm not into video games, but a mate of mine said, "Have you seen this?" And I looked at it and says, "Why is it in the center the whole time? Is that not a video game thing?" Because it centers the actual object for most of it. And he went, "Yeah." He says, I wanted to see if you'd cop it because you're not into games." And I was there, "That's obviously a video game." And he goes, "That was on the news." I was there,
yeah.
No, there's another Irish citizen there. Don't know who you are because you're not showing up. But we'll say hello from Ireland. There you go. Who am I talking about? Just look up verified in BBC News, and it'll pop up with her name. I'm not giving her any thing because she talks a lot of apps. Oh, it's Jenny. Hello, Jenny. But it's just, it's mad how they put out so much fake news out there. They've been quoted it so many times. So many times.
I was in Dublin one day with a friend of mine, and he was going to a protest at the back of the forecourts in the centre of Dublin, and there was 3,600 people there. And TV3, one of the smaller news channels, was there, and they broadcast from there. And, you've seen it. But RTE1, it's the national carrier. They broadcast from the front of the building where there was nobody, and said that nobody turned up for whatever it was. I can't remember, a tax or war charges or something. I can't remember. And I was disgusted at that. I was there. What sort of an investigative reporter misses 3,600 fucking people?
I know.
So the news went out to the country and national because, international. RTE be international as well. And I said, the rest of the world think that we don't give a shit. and there was 3,600 people at the back of that building. So that's how much the news lies. I witnessed it myself.
It was like a month ago when Donald Trump came to visit Scotland to play golf near Ayr, and his plane landed at Prestwick Airport. And the news says, yes, there was some protesters turned up, and it showed folk going, boo, boo, right? There was 4 of them. 4 people. 4, right? See, behind that, there was maybe 2,000 people saying, yes, Trump, yes. But they didn't show that. They showed the 4 people holding the banner saying, boo, boo. Look, it's fake news. Everything's fake news now. See the BBC News. We've got to pay for that. American people here, by the way. The UK people have to have a television license. I mean, have you heard anything so much fucking ridiculous in your entire life? I mean,
Can you drive the telly?
Done. Eh?
Can you drive the telly?
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
You need
That
a
was my
license.
first thought when I heard about it.
You need a license. In Ireland, you do, but we get ads. At least in the BBC, when you get you get your TV license, you're not flirted with ads. We get a TV license bill, and then you get the ads. I haven't watched TV in 7 or 8 years. I just use the internet for everything. So I don't watch any TV whatsoever. I don't have a Skybox in here, nothing.
Isn't that why they're talking about doing an internet license? Because everybody's doing that?
They actually changed the TV license now in Ireland. It's called a multimedia license. So you don't have to have a TV, but then because you have a phone, it's multimedia, So they got around the TV because a friend of mine genuinely doesn't have a TV. He doesn't have a TV. He works late and he plays guitar when he gets in, and that's it. He's never had a TV. And every time they knock, he doesn't fuck off. And they're like, you need a media license. He don't have a TV. And he just shuts the door.
Oh, it's ridiculous. The UK is totally ridiculous. I mean, the tax you for everything. I can see now why America kicked the England out. with the amount of tax, I mean, the tax is ridiculous.
Some just dropped out of the chat there again. Anyone see that now?
His message was retracted. He retracted his message. Aye.
Yeah, I wasn't even in there.
Yeah, I spotted something drop out of the chat again.
Fucking lovely.
Well, look, we're doing something right. We're getting attention,
Oh my god! I just don't know anymore. There is I think other wee AI bots that's doing all this will collapse soon anyway. So
yeah,
Facebook's bad for it. Facebook's bad for posting stuff and stuff getting taken down. I've got 2 Facebook accounts and one under a different name, and I set it up because I was putting UFO posts out about UFO, like Elena's videos and stuff like that, and nobody was looking at it, nobody was liking it, nothing. So I set up another account and I clicked and I friended it myself, and I went and looked and there was nothing on my page. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
So it just shows you.
It's jumping from Facebook to Twitter. One thing I would love to sit down and ask Elon Musk if I ever got the chance is, why is it that all these women can post sexy photos of themselves, but the same women go to post a picture of a UFO, the UFO's what gets taken down?
You see, that's alien implants.
Yeah, it's like you post something on Facebook today with the truth, and it's taken down, but somebody posts a ISIS beheading video on Facebook, and it's allowed to stay up.
Yeah, that's double standards again. People are starting to see all of that. People said at first, oh no, if it's terrorism or if it's this or it's that, you have to take it down. And then they go and stick up a post and it gets taken down. And you'd be like, I didn't say anything wrong. So they're starting to see
Facebook
that.
Doesn't last long. Facebook's not got long left. Facebook's got to collapse. I think it will. Old Zuckerberg. Can't remember his metaverse and all that, walking about with goggles on and stuff like that. That's starting to fail for him. Of course, Elon Musk hates Zuckerberg. Do you get that? I mean, he's done quite a good thing for Twitter, I'll admit that, but he lets free speech, some free speech, but he's still controlled with the world governments and stuff like that. He says he isn't and stuff.
Okay,
He really
Chris,
is.
you have to sit back and think. A man who has no real criminal history, okay, Elon Musk. Why is it that Biden is saying, "Oh, we need to look at this guy," because he's not liking how Twitter's
Because he
being
obviously
run.
can something.
Exactly. So if there's not something there, why is Biden wanting to flag him down?
But you just need to look at Joe Biden's son and the laptop, the Hunter laptop.
Well, screw that. How about the recent images of reporters managed to get of him ripping a bong right before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Or what about the cocaine in the White House just a month ago?
That
it was in his room.
Conveniently say nobody will be able to find out where that cocaine came from. The person and never be caught. It's like, of course, because it's the fucking president's son.
Yeah. I will say this though. They better watch and they better pray to God that Trump doesn't get back into office. Because he's going to go after them, I think he's going to go after them. But let's face it, Joe Biden's going to end up in an old folks' home anyway.
He's already having to wear anti-slip socks when he goes on stage.
Did you see the one? Joe Biden nibbling the child?
Yeah.
Which one? He's sniffing and nibbling everything that comes near him.
Yeah, man. His age, he's kind of at the one. He's at the I'm old, I don't give a fuck phase, and two, I'm old, so I don't remember what I do 5 seconds ago. So something's gonna start slipping through if that man's up to something.
I don't care who's the next president. I just want somebody better than the one that's in the new, because he's a total idiot. Okay, I mean,
it proves that the president doesn't run the show, because he couldn't. He can't wipe his arse. So he's not running the country at all. He's been run by somebody else.
I'll tell you who's running the country.
And I think all the presidents have been run by somebody else, and that's been the fucking issue.
Obama is running the White House right now. I'm telling you, that's who's running the White House right now. Because he's been seen get in quite a lot. He's running in it now. He shouldn't be president. In fact, I think we're needing to do away with the presidents, to be honest with you. Look at the Prime Minister of the UK. His wife is a billionaire. Her companies made billions of pounds for the pandemic. Am I interested in that, innit? How they had a stake in that before it all happened.
It just points out how corrupt they are. This is the IQ test for the public. Do you want to keep voting in these people that keep breaking laws and then changing laws to cover their crimes? This is a big IQ test. This is to see how smart we are. Are we still going to let them fuck us around, or are we going to just say no? Have we had enough? Do we have to expose any more?
Remember the emergency alert that went out in the UK a wee while ago? That was a test for the new emergency alert system. Guess who owns that emergency alert system? The Prime Minister's relation. Isn't that handy? Handy?
Oh, convenient.
Yeah, excellent.
Oh, Killer Whisperer, my battery runs low. It must depart. Farewell, brothers, we choose right. Farewell. Be safe and live long and prosper.
Be safe and watch out for the black SUVs parked out in front of everybody's houses.
Yes, because I was talking about the Andromedans tonight.
I'm going to get followed on my way to work again. That's been happening quite a bit lately.
You like it. Come on, you know that you've got company there, keeping you company, following you about.
Or something crawling in my bed with me in the middle of the night.
It depends what it is, though. It depends. I mean, obviously, if it was like an extraterrestrial and it was a male, right? But what happens if it was a female version of the extraterrestrial? Would you be Dot? What about you? If that visits you in the night and crawled into bed with you, what would you do?
I don't know. If it has a mating claw now, I'd be like, fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
And there's quite a few that can be interbred with Terrans.
Yep, there's a lot of strange-looking ones out there.
You know, there's one right there.
I know. Take me back. I said, why is it no happening tonight? It bloody get rid of me last night. You know.
I know. The last night was too perfect, but
I know. I know. So what's on the agenda next week? Do we have any guests yet? Do we have any guests lined up?
Yeah, we're working on it. Like I said, we do have. We did just reached out by Danny Henderson to pop up on her channel sometime soon, so we'll keep everybody in the loop on that. As far as some guests, we do have some people we're talking to, but it's just nailing down the schedule that's been a little tricky.
Yeah. So, Dots, what about you? What are you doing this week? Anything interesting?
No, nothing really. No, nothing really.
Yeah.
Nothing planned.
If you disappear, we'll see you anyway. Then Robbins will take you away.
Oh, he's learned
I
a
know,
new
I'm
word,
terrible.
and now he's never not going to stop saying it.
He's just going to keep saying
It's like I'm not meant to mention it. Well, why say it to me if I'm not meant to mention it?
Probably because I have a bet for how long it is before you'll open your mouth.
Do they know Ken? Do they know Ken be knew that I'm a raving lunatic and I'll just say it just to annoy them? Okay, I mean,
who knows? They may be taking bets on you.
Maybe that's what it is. They're like, right, I've got the old bald one with the slight hair pattern. I've got 1 million credits, galactic credits. On the younger one that looks like he's in his 70s, bald one, I've got 500,000 galactic credits.
If I look like I'm in my 70s, I look damn good.
Everybody in the chat, let's before we end the show, how old do you think Dakota is, guys? No cheating. I'll be right off. I'll be 42, and I feel like I'm 42. But
okay, why are you getting muffled when you go? You got muffled again. Seriously, I'm not fucking with you. You got muffled again.
I'm muffled again.
Well, now you're not, but
there's some naggy 30. 26.
26.
Oh, you're actually getting close.
That's close, yeah. I can't say anything.
Can you believe you're only that age, man? It's weird.
I'm only 27, yeah.
I know. It's so strange that.
Yeah, it does feel kind of strange that most people in the disclosure side of things are old enough to be my grandparents.
Is Iron Firehorse in the chat? Look at Iron Firehorse put.
Yeah, I know the baby face. Yeah, at least I know I still look good. No, it's pretty much.
I
know that as long as I don't fuck around with cigarettes and alcohol, I'll pretty much look the same.
I'll tell you something. The new law change when the galactic ship lands, the big door opens, and all your children run out towards you. Daddy!
Maybe I'll actually get my hair back.
Aye, maybe the Galactic Federation's technology to save humankind from pollution, disease,
I had
wars.
Hair before I got here, man.
They're going
That's
to
all I gotta say. It's like I had hair before I got here. That's all I gotta say.
You should see him, ladies and gentlemen. He plays GTA 5 with me. You should see his character in GTA 5. His long wavy hair.
Says the man who plays it every day for 11 years.
That's very true, but I stopped doing that when I get into podcasting and stuff. I don't do it.
Sure. Just make sure. Just remember, you got people that there are some people that are looking forward to talking with you, man. So don't be neglecting them because of your gaming addiction. I'm saying this as your friend.
Honestly, ladies and gentlemen. He plays at Tagekin. He plays Red Dead. He puts on the cowboy voice and all that.
Hey, I have actually helped design video games. I have an excuse to be a nerd.
Exactly. But ladies and gentlemen, remember, tune in for our gaming nights, because we do gaming nights where we talk a load of absolute pish.
And you can see two brothers getting ready to kill each other whenever his brother decides to show up.
You will hear me.
He was getting ready to throw a controller through a TV last time.
Who, me?
No, Drew.
Aye, because he's a pain in the arse sometimes.
I wonder where he gets it from.
Look, I have trouble explaining things to people because I don't have patience, right? When somebody spends like an entire week at the main menu of a game trying to figure out how to get into the game, and they keep asking you how to get into the game, and they're stuck in the main menu, and you've explained it to them like every night for the last 3 weeks, it's sometimes very annoying.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Oh, there's somebody played a Super Nintendo.
Oh, God. Well, that's how to make people feel old. Wow, 1, 1, 2,
Wow.
2. Haha, I have grandchildren older than Dakota. Wow. See what I mean, though?
I know. You're the youngest here. You're just a wee babby.
I've only met like a couple people in this little circle I've been running in that are younger than me. That's it.
You must be the youngest in the UFO field circuit in the area and stuff. You must be you know about the youngest one.
There's a couple
maybe
I met
not
that
in a
are younger
galactic
than
age.
me,
Maybe you're older, but
there's a couple I met that are younger than me. But yeah, even Elena, they're surprised how much I have put together. But everybody's getting ready to tire in, so it should be about time we end this episode.
Have a fantastic week, guys.
Yep.
And aliens come and take you all away.
And hopefully, if you're in the northern hemisphere, they'll take you to someplace nice and cool to where it's not. Let's see, in UK, at about 40 degrees Celsius right now.
I'm a message going out to the Andromedans. If you can hear me, do you hear me, Andromedans? Could you leave them in the South Pole for a week?
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, I couldn't resist. Let's say in all my weird experiences since listening to you guys, the amount of weird has stepped up. Yep, that's what happens when people hang around me too much.
Yes, that's what happens, ladies and gentlemen. Soon you'll be having visions about the Andromedans.
I spread strangeness like some of my relatives spread STDs.
Oh my God. I can't believe you just said that.
They all talk to me anyway, so.
They're all probably related anyway.
What are you talking about? We should gotta end this show before we go off the rails.
Ding, 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 ding.
Much love. Stay safe, Dots. Thanks for coming on this weekend.
Thank you, Dots.
You're the only one man enough to actually step up against us, so.
No problem. No problem. Anytime.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe anywhere you see Bald and Bonkers for even more insanity. Be sure to spread the love to the Bald and Bonkers boys' other endeavors. And a special thank you to our audience, guests, and everyone else who helps make this crazy ride happen. Amazing things are ahead. Learn more by visiting www.baldandbonkers.net. See you next time. Much love, and take care.